election.
No, and
exactly, because and she got a cabinet.
But she, she was already a cabinet
it's a different gig. It's a completely different gig. It's a completely different thing. The reason I'm saying is that Modi was Kejriwal at that point of time. 95% of people who were winning.
All right,
Virendra
Sachdeva of the BJP has spoken to India Today's Nivritri. Let's quickly kind of cross.
News9's Nivritri, Nabila, News9's Nivritri. Please, let's play out the tic-tac.
मैंडेट को लेकर के उम्मीद हमें अपने काम पर भरोसा था, हमें हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी पर भरोसा था। मेरा फ्रेम में जान रहे थे कि उनका नेतृत्व जी लाइव मिलेंगे, काफी दिल्ली को विकास दे सकता है, उनके नेतृत्व में लाइव मिलेगा, काफी जीत का श्रेय किसे देंगे? एक ही सचदेवा जी, एक है श्रीमान नरेंद्र मोदी। हो गया, हम सब कार्यकर्ता है, लेकिन हम कार्यकर्ताओं को चलाने का काम हमको करने का माननीय प्रधानमंत्री करते हैं।
We have the happy man here, Virendra Sachdeva, state BJP president with us. Virendra ji, sir, we have the happy man here, the state president of BJP, Virendra Sachdeva with us. Virendra ji, सबसे पहले तो मुबारक हो आपको। काफी समय बाद, काफी अंतराल के बाद, more than 27 years बीजेपी फिर से आ रही है।
दिल्ली की जनता को बधाई देता हूं कि उन्होंने हमारे राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व पर भरोसा किया है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री की नेतृत्व पर दिल्ली की जनता ने भरोसा किया और ये जीत माननीय प्रधानमंत्री की, हमारे राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व की जीत है।
क्या मुद्दे रहेंगे, किन पर सबसे पहले काम शुरू होगा? फ्रीबीज तो पुराने मुद्दे रहेंगे।
देखिए, हमारा काम है कि जितने घोटाले हुए हैं उन घोटालों पे एसआईटी का गठन होगा। जितनी केंद्र की योजनाएं दिल्ली में रोकी हुई थी, चाहे आयुष्मान योजना हो, चाहे हर घर नल से जल हो, उन पे काम होगा। दिल्ली में यमुना सफाई हमारा एक मुद्दा है। दिल्ली में जितनी भी योजनाएं हैं जिनको रोका गया था उनको पूरा करेंगे, लेकिन दिल्ली को विकसित राजधानी बनाने के लिए काम करेंगे।
आम आदमी पार्टी के लीडर्स के खिलाफ जो करप्शन के मामले हैं उन पर जांच होगी, आप कह रहे हैं?
मैंने कहा कि वो हमने उसी दिन घोषणा की थी कि जिस दिन पहली कैबिनेट होगी उसी दिन।
We can call out the election. Aam Aadmi Party has lost Delhi to Bharatiya Janata Party. Kejriwal has lost. Manish Sisodia has lost. Atishi is still trailing. Brijesh.
And Saurabh Bharadwaj also trailing.
Saurabh Bharadwaj trailing. The top echelon of Aam Aadmi Party has been routed by Bharatiya Janata Party. That's the long and short of the story.
So the moral of the story is very simple. Okay, I believe Atishi is also going to go. The top three are
going by the popular sentiment, right?
The problem with the Aam Aadmi Party is that they were basically turning out to be charlatans, and that is what the people of Delhi have finally understood, and I'm glad that the people of Delhi have opened their eyes, because the Aam Aadmi Party is nothing but a party of theatrical politics and anarchists. And I'm glad the people of Delhi opened their eyes and they are moving forward to a progressive and an aspirational Delhi.
Well, let's hope this is for the better. And whatever said, change is always good.
Yes. And one more clear indication is that if you remember the first elections in which BJP came to power in Haryana, it was said that it was a non-Jat vote. Okay, but the last elections very clearly showed that the Jats and the non-Jats voted. Similarly, this is an inclusive mandate. Here it is not just the poor, the middle class, the Punjabis, the Purvanchalis. Across the spectrum, BJP has got votes.
Yeah.
So this is very clear. It's an inclusive mandate for BJP.
You know, tell us a little more about Parvesh, who's managed to trump Arvind Kejriwal. His background, he's a former chief minister's son. He brings some kind of political acumen himself.
He does. I think, he's son of Sahib Singh Verma, and Sahib Singh Verma was one of the tallest BJP leader. And, many believe that, him being removed from the post and Sushma Swaraj being given put at the helm of affairs also proved ruinous for the BJP. And the fact is that Parvesh Verma was also a member of parliament. And this time, before, like say, couple of months back, if you would have talked about Parvesh Verma being the giant killer or, coming up with this, nobody would have agreed with you. The fact of the matter is that the first controversy which erupted, the way Parvesh Verma went after the BJP, after the Aam Aadmi Party, after being exposed by Atishi and that he was distributing money and all. I think Parvesh Verma became one of the most prominent BJP figure, who was taking on Arvind Kejriwal, and many believe that Arvind Kejriwal is not going to have a convenient run against him.
And this seat, New Delhi, does not have a caste dynamic. He's a Jat. Parvesh Verma, son of Sahib Singh Verma, is a Jat. Jats are only 4% in Delhi. For him, I think it's a general vote surge that has happened.
General vote surge, and it also points to a general disenchantment with Arvind Kejriwal per se. And I think, the falling back to the same old tried tested method of, that everyone is after me, victimhood, and I would say that, those Sheesh Mahal and Liquorgate policy, it drove a nail into the
death
of Aam Aadmi Party's
people have decided to teach him a lesson that's just shocking. Remember, as soon as he came out of Tihar, he says, I am going to he resigned. He said, I'm going to campaign, I'm going to get to the ground, go door to door.
I think he didn't
but
get it.
no sympathy shown.
I think he didn't understand that people have not appreciated the style of politics and the sort of way Delhi was governed. And I think that is why this voting pattern has emerged, whereby he has lost, I would say, swaths of land to Aam Aadmi Party. If you look at Delhi, from the side where Rohini is down to where Tughlakabad is, you have a saffron surge. I mean to say, these are not spots. So there was no close contest. They were winning. It was a surge win. We have got Yash Goyal at Aam Aadmi's party's office. I think now it will be very clear, Yash, they must have conceded defeat. It's pretty much clear. Sisodia loses, Kejriwal loses, Saurabh Bharadwaj trailing, Atishi Bandlena trailing. The top four is out. I think the mood must be...
Absolutely, Karthik. The mood here, I have seen the temperaments of the Karyakartas going from top to the bottom here. In fact, not even bottom now. In fact, I can tell you that I can't see even a single Karyakarta of the Aam Aadmi Party around this area. I just moved out of the visuals to show you. These are all just media personals. And in fact, if I go any side of this place, you'll find no AAP Karyakartas talking even to the media, remotely giving their reaction to it. Because what has happened today was unexpected, because they've said that at least the top guns of the Aam Aadmi Party were safe. They were contesting vociferously, and in fact, but like the exit polls have told, none of them were sitting pretty at any given point from any of the seats. So they have actually now lost, because Arvind Kejriwal has lost. And let's jog our viewers' memory also here. Arvind Kejriwal had categorically said he'll return to the CM's chair once only if he comes by winning, and in fact if the people of the national capital votes him in. But none of things are happening. The party seems to be losing, and also the top guns of the Aam Aadmi Party couple of them have lost, and in fact not a good picture for the others as well.
Not a good pitch, it's a disastrous
Yeah,
pitch.
I think that's an understatement.
For the first time, in a try contest, there are two parties which are extremely happy. BJP, for obvious reasons, for coming back to Delhi after 27, and Congress, despite scoring a hat-trick of 0, they're also ecstatic that, that someone has taken a revenge for them. Because if you remember, the Sheila Dikshits of the world and the entire Commonwealth Games scam, the 2G, Arvind Kejriwal went after Aam Aadmi Party, I think, and after Congress Party, and destroyed most of its political credibility. Like even the BJP couldn't do it. And that is the reason why I think today, when he's staring defeat and staring at a very bleak political future right now post this defeat, the Congress Party is also as happy as the Bharatiya Janata Party is.
I still want to know if this was a close fight in some of the seats, or was it a huge margin?
1,200 seats, 1,200 votes is a very, very close
margin.
fight.
It's not small.
It's a very close,
especially
very tight.
in a population as small or a state as small as Delhi.
They lost by very small margins.
Yeah.
I think Manish Sisodia lost by some 600 odd votes, and Arvind Kejriwal losing it by 1,200 votes. I mean,
you're saying the margin is small.
Margin is very small. Yeah, the margin is not great.
So if the margin is small, I'm seeing a similar trend to what happened in Haryana. There seems to be some kind of micro engineering that the BJP has done in Haryana. It's worked. It's worked in Delhi. What could be that, Savio?
So one of the things that BJP has done extremely well after they realized what happened in the Lok Sabha was to build bridges with the RSS first. But what they also did with the Karyakartas is they started mapping each and every booth. So besides your booth in charge, under each booth you have different leaders now, each one of them. So just like you had a say a Mandal president, for example. You would have heard that the Mandal president's the highest, and under the Mandal president you would have a vice president. No, they've gone a step beyond, and it's happening all over the states, all over the country. So what they do is, now each booth has got a booth president kind of a person.
The Panna Pramukh.
And under the booth president you have your office bearers of that booth. And that is how micro they've gone into. And if you are going to see this all over, it's not something that's new. The next election also that happens, you will see that kind of booth management. So a booth person now, the Pramukh, Pama Pramukh as we are calling it, is the person who's going to be like your president of that particular booth. And so his responsibility, he's given encouragement, he's given training, he's given, a facility like an app to keep track of, how many people are a part of it, how to send birthday wishes, all those kind of things. At least in Goa, I know that's how they work it, right? So I believe that kind of micromanagement is what gives BJP an advantage. And they started to go extremely assertive after the Lok Sabha results. So everyone at a ground level is where they're going to reach out to. Every person is mapped, every person is understood, every person's birthdays, anniversaries, everything.
And Nabila, let me give you my personal experience.
Yes,
I decided to vote after lunch. And once lunchtime was over, I started getting calls from the local BJP guys, sir, aapne vote nahi dala hai. You had people coming home, and they were doing this to every voter. And they were coming and they are saying, I did not see that the Aam Aadmi Party did not even come to the house during the entire campaign. There was a door-to-door outreach on the part of BJP.
I think BJP didn't take anything to chance. I think Aam Aadmi Party was slightly overconfident.
Yes.
If you're saying this door-to-door, we are joined by Dr. Anil Gupta. Dr. Gupta, Delhi to aapki ho gayi.
Yeah. जी नमस्कार.
नमस्कार. दिल्ली तो आप जीत गए.
I did not hear your question.
Dr. Gupta, I am saying दिल्ली तो आप जीत गए. वैसे मैंने बोला था दिल्ली तो आपकी हो गई. So I chose not to respond. You chose not to respond to my question. It was in Hindi. I said दिल्ली आपकी हो गई. And then you became silent.
So you're trying to say दिल्ली हमारी हो गई.
अब सर अब आपदा से मुक्ति का समय हो गया है. आपदा से मुक्ति मिल गई है. And now it is a time that we make Delhi the best capital in the world. Now it is a time that whatever we have promised in our Sankalp Path to start working on that. And now I'm telling you that we congratulate our leadership. We thank the citizen of Delhi for having faith in us. And now the 10 saal Delhi behal, the word will go, and now the Delhi will prosper. Delhi will be free from pollution. Delhi will have water. Delhi will have electricity. Delhi will have the good roads, and the corruption which were there in the Kejriwal regime will go away. And under the leadership of Modi ji, we have the zero tolerance for corruptions, and definitely the 6 lakh crores of rupees which the citizen of Delhi has given to Kejriwal Sahab in last 10 years, we will definitely have an inquiry what he has done to those money, how much corruption he has done. Now it is a time not only of the celebration but for the commitment to the citizen of Delhi that whatever we have committed in our Sankalp Path is the time to start working on that. I am telling you, Delhi will have the Ayushman Yojana right in the first cabinet meeting what we have promised. And not only the single Ayushman Yojana, Delhi will have the double, the 5 lakhs from the center, the 5 lakhs from the state, and the road laying start will work, the colleges will be made. I mean, we will have, when there will be a double engine government, the Delhi will be the capital of in actual terms, the Delhi will be the capital of the India. And I think the Delhi will prosper. The bad faces of citizen of Delhi is over, and we will start working.
Bit of a breaking news, Atishi has won. She has managed to scrape through. So Atishi has won the elections. Well, it's like a silver lining.
Yeah, but cloud. No silver lining. I'm sorry. She won with a where is the silver lining?
She just made the chief minister. She doesn't carry the kind of political bandwidth which say Saurabh Bharadwaj or Manish Sisodia and others do.
I think in absence of Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia, she'll get to be the
LOP.
She'll get to be the LOP and she will retain the bungalow. She can retain the other big bungalow.
Wait and watch, because you usually make, when you're in a situation like this, you usually make LOP a person who is very combative and who knows the nuances
but
of politics.
Atishi has been fairly combative.
Right,
In
she
fact,
has
she's
been.
held
She-
fort when Kejriwal was in prison. So
She
due
has
credit
been.
to
But
her.
I'm saying
Due
that
credit to
let's
her.
see how it pans out. Because there are people like Gopal Rai and others who have won with huge margins, and they are like the the real old war horse as far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. Could be Atishi, because Arvind Kejriwal reposed his faith in her
Correct.
when he went to jail, and
And that did not go
that could also
well
work
with
in
a lot
favor.
of our
Okay, let's play out couple of bites, couple of political reactions have come. Let's play them out, all of them.
दिल्ली की जनता ने माननीय प्रधानमंत्री के नेतृत्व पे भरोसा व्यक्त किया है और दिल्ली की जनता माननीय प्रधानमंत्री के साथ है।
सर, कितना बड़ी जीत आप इसे मानते हैं, क्योंकि 27 साल बाद जो है बीजेपी
ये बहुत बड़ी जीत है हमारे लिए, दिल्ली की जनता की जीत है और इस पूरी जीत के शिल्पकार हमारा राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री, माननीय गृह मंत्री, माननीय राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष।
ये मेरी जीत है, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की जीत है और कहीं ना कहीं उनका बहुत आशीर्वाद रहा दिल्ली के सभी कैंडिडेटों में। जिस प्रकार उन्होंने रैली करी, जिस प्रकार दिल्ली के लोगों को उन्होंने समझाया, बताया उन्होंने कि आपदा को हटाना जरूरी है दिल्ली में, तो उसकी वजह से आज दिल्ली में हम लोग जीत के आए। मैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री अमित शाह जी और अपने शीर्ष नेतृत्व का जेपी नड्डा जी, वीरेंद्र सचदेवा जी, सबका धन्यवाद करता हूँ। और मैं आश्वस्त हूँ कि हमारी सरकार बनने जा रही है और कहीं ना कहीं इस बार दिल्ली के लोगों का विकास होगा और जनता का विकास होगा और क्षेत्र में काम होंगे।
With the governor's leadership attending the RBI Central Board. So going from what you say, I am responding.
मैं सभी का धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगी, सभी नई दिल्ली वासियों का धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगी। हाँ जी, आप सबका आशीर्वाद, आप सबका प्यार, आज पापा जो जीत रहे हैं वो आप सबके समर्थन के साथ जीत रहे हैं और एक बार फिर आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। देखिए, जब 11 साल झूठ से कोई सरकार चलाएगा, जब लोगों को फुसलाएगा, उनकी बातें नहीं सुनेगा, तब लोग उसको एक बार मौका और दे सकते हैं। दूसरी बार मौका देना, ये गलती दिल्ली वाली नहीं करेंगे और उन्होंने नहीं करी है। हमारी जो बहुमत से सरकार बनी है वो बहुत एक्सपेक्टेड थी। जब आप लोगों की शिकायतें सुनते हैं, उन लोगों की जो दिक्कतें सुनते हैं, उसके बाद एक्सपेक्टेड था। मीडिया वाले कह रहे थे कि शायद पलट जाएगा इलेक्शन, लेकिन जैसे हम देख सकते हैं बहुत क्लियर कट विक्ट्री है। पापा की भी बहुत क्लियर कट विक्ट्री है, सुबह से लीड में चल रहे हैं और आप सबके समर्थन के लिए वापस धन्यवाद। थैंक यू।
सबसे पहले तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोगों को जीत मिली है, उन्हें बधाई, और आशा करता हूं कि जो जनादेश दिल्ली की जनता ने उन्हें दिया है उसकी वो प्रतिपूर्ति करेंगे और वे सब आम आदमी पार्टी के लाखों करोड़ों कार्यकर्ता जो अन्ना आंदोलन से आए, जिनके बहुत ही निश्चल, निष्पाप और बड़े भारत की राजनीति को बदलने के सपने की हत्या एक निर्लज्ज, नीच, मित्रहंता, आत्ममुग्ध और चरित्रहीन व्यक्ति ने की, उसके प्रति तो क्या संवेदना। दिल्ली को उससे मुक्ति मिली और मैं ये जानता हूँ कि अब जो आम आदमी पार्टी में लोग बच गए थे सत्ता के लोभ में, लालच में, पदों के लिए, उस पैसे के चक्कर में, वे सब भी अब वापस जाएंगे, लौटेंगे, कुछ अपने व्यवसायों में लौटेंगे, कुछ पार्टियों में चले जाएंगे और पतन यहाँ से प्रारंभ हुआ है उन लोगों का। मेरे लिए कोई प्रसन्नता का और दुख का विषय नहीं है, मैं बीच में खड़ा हूँ। प्रसन्नता इस बात की है कि करोड़ों लोगों ने आशा लगाई थी, करोड़ों लोगों ने, लोग अपनी नौकरियाँ छोड़ के आए थे, व्यवसाय छोड़ के आए थे, दुश्मनियाँ ली थी लोगों ने, उन सब की हत्या एक आत्ममुग्ध आदमी ने, एक चरित्रहीन आदमी ने अपनी निजी महत्वाकांक्षाओं की पूर्ति के लिए की। उसको दंड मिला, ईश्वरीय विधान से दंड मिला। प्रसन्नता इस बात की भी है कि न्याय हुआ। आज जब कहना नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन आज टीवी पर जब जंगपुरा का निर्णय आया और सामने दिखाई दिया कि मनीष हार गया, तो सदा तटस्थ रहने वाली और राजनीति से विरत रहने वाली मेरी पत्नी जो है, उसकी आंख में आंसू आ गए, वो रोने लगी, क्योंकि उसी से उसने ये कहा था कि अभी तो है ताकत, और उसने कहा था भैया ताकत सदा तो नहीं रहती। तो ये अहंकार आशा करता हूँ अगले लोग नहीं करेंगे, जो बाकी दल है वो नहीं करेंगे, इससे सबक लेंगे। और दिल्ली के नागरिकों को मैं अच्छे शासन के लिए बधाई देता हूँ। अब भारतीय जनता पार्टी अपने नेतृत्व में सरकार बनाकर दिल्ली के जो दुख थे पिछले 10 वर्ष के, उन्हें दूर करे। और आम आदमी पार्टी के समस्त कार्यकर्ताओं को कहता हूँ कि आपने जिस किसी भी लोभ लालच में, सब कुछ जानते हुए एक ऐसे व्यक्ति के समर्थन में काम किया जिसने अपने मित्रों की पीठ में झुरा घोंपा, गुरु को धोखा दिया, अपने साथ कंधे से कंधा मिला के लड़ने वाली महिलाओं को अपने घर लाके पिटवाया, अपनी निजी सुख और साधन के लिए जनता का पैसा खर्च किया, अब उससे आशा लगानी छोड़ें, अब बाहर निकलें, अपना अपना जीवन देखें। मुझे राघवेंद्र सरकार राम की कृपा मिली, जिनका ये घर है, जिनकी कृपा से मैं यहाँ खड़ा हूँ। मुझ पर कृष्ण कृपा हुई कि मैं इस निर्लज्ज सर्कस से बाहर आ सका। मैं उन सब से भी अच्छे भविष्य की कामना करता हूँ कि वो कोई गंदगी ना फैलाएं कहीं भी, वो लौट जाएं अपने शिविरों में। जिस तरह माधव को, कृष्ण को दूत देखकर भी भरी सभा में अट्टहास करने वाला दुर्योधन जो ये कहता था सुचिग्रम नैव दास्यामि बिना युद्धे न केशवः, बिना युद्ध के 5 गांव भी नहीं दूंगा, आज वो अपनी सीटों के लिए तरस रहा है। और मुझे पता है कि इस दुर्योधन का अंत भी टूटी हुई जंघा के साथ बड़ा ही दारुण होगा और भारतीय राजनीति एक कलंकित अध्याय के रूप में इस बौने दुर्योधन को और इसके दरबार के तमाम शकुनियों को याद करेगी। मैं उनकी मुक्ति की कामना करता हूं कि ईश्वर उन्हें इस दुख से बाहर निकाले और समस्त लोगों को बधाई देता हूं कि चलिए अंततः न्याय हुआ।
ये मेरी जीत है, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की जीत है और कहीं ना कहीं उनका बहुत आशीर्वाद रहा दिल्ली के सभी कैंडिडेटों में। जिस प्रकार उन्होंने रैली करी, जिस प्रकार दिल्ली के लोगों को उन्होंने समझाया, बताया उन्होंने कि आपदा को हटाना जरूरी है दिल्ली में, तो उसकी वजह से आज दिल्ली में हम लोग जीत के आए। मैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री अमित शाह जी और अपने,
ये मेरी व्यक्तिगत हार है। मैं लोगों से कनेक्ट नहीं कर पाया, मेरे पास कम समय था। 1 महीने में मैं जितने लोगों से कनेक्ट कर पाया उतना वोट मुझे मिला, तो ये मेरी व्यक्तिगत हार है।
दिल्ली में आम आदमी पार्टी की बुरी हार हो रही है, इस पर क्या?
मुझे अभी इस बारे में कोई सूचना नहीं, मैं सूचना मिलने पे इस पर बाइट दूंगा।
अन्ना हजारे ने भी बयान दिया है कि ये शराब नीति मामले में घोटाले का,
अभी मुझे इस बारे में, ये मेरी व्यक्तिगत हार है जिसकी मैं खुद जिम्मेदारी ले रहा हूँ।
बने रहिएगा
एकदम कल से जा रहा हूँ, पहले लोगों से मिलूंगा और अपना काम शुरू करूंगा। अगला विधानसभा चुनाव फिर पटवर्धन से लड़ूंगा।
We have Radhika Khera with us from the BJP at this given point. Radhika ji, we're seeing quite a, not just a positive trend at this point, but from what we see, it's a sweeping trend for the BJP.
It's a sweeping trend for the people of Delhi, and this is a victory of the people of Delhi. They have earned their relief and won their relief from the dirty water that they were drinking, the dirty polluted air that they were breathing. Their children, the Delhi children were going to schools and toilets were being shown as classrooms. So that's a win for Delhi. They've come out of 15 years of misgovernance of Sheila Dikshit and 10 to 12 years of misgovernance of Arvind Kejriwal, full of bhrashtachar, only filling pockets of himself and his mantris, not fulfilling any of the promises that he promised by swearing on his children. So it's a victory of people of Delhi, and badhai ho Delhi walo.
And at this given point, we have been trying to guess who the chief ministerial face will be from the BJP side.
See, once the results are out, after that there will be a day after that there will be a Vidhayak Dal ki Baitak, which is the norm in every state, and the party collectively will decide who is going to be the chief minister face.
Magic number that you're hoping for, or rather looking forward to at this point?
I believe that we will cross 50.
You will cross 50. And allegations, counter allegations, we've always seen the Congress and the opposition, the Aam Aadmi Party as well, levelling all sorts of charges, be it EVM, be it disruptions, gundagardi, hooliganism. We've heard it all during the campaigns this time.
अभी तो देखिए, अभी तो शुरुआत है, अभी तो और बहुत सारी चीजें आएंगी. I've heard that the Aam Aadmi Party has stopped its spokespersons from going to television channels because they're planning to create a ruckus on the EVM issue, on the EC issue. But एक कहावत है हिंदी की, अंगूर खट्टे हैं. So that and नाच ना जावे आंगन टेढ़ा are fitting to these results, and this was expected.
Shahnawaz Hussain with us, sir. स्वीपिंग विक्ट्री बीजेपी के लिए अभी तो लग रही है. आप लोगों का मैजिकल नंबर क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं?
चाय पी रहे हैं जीत की खुशी में. जीत गए हैं, मोदी की गारंटी चल गई है, किसी की गारंटी अब चलने वाली नहीं है. कांग्रेस ने तो हमसे भी बड़े बड़े वादे किए थे, क्या हुआ उनका? 0 पे आउट हो गए. राहुल गांधी, अरविंद केजरीवाल की विदाई हो गई. अब वो कभी भी सत्ता में नहीं आएंगे यहाँ.
और 27 साल के बाद हम बीजेपी को वापस देखेंगे नेशनल कैपिटल में. चीफ मिनिस्टरियल फेस कौन होगा? कोई अभी तक कोई ऐसी खबर?
बीजेपी का ही मुख्यमंत्री बनेगा, इसमें कोई शक नहीं.
बट कौन होगा अभी तक कोई
होगा वो तो पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड बताएगा.
Well, we have BJP's Tom Vadakan at this given point with us on News9. Sir, sweeping trends for the BJP is what we see today on the decision day for Delhi. People have chosen for change, it seems.
We welcome the decision of the people of Delhi. They have voted a mandate, a decisive mandate. And this almost seems like a referendum against the Abda government, the Congress government and the India Alliance. I think the message is loud and clear because Delhi essentially is a combination of people from all over the country. It's a pan-Indian city. under the circumstances, last 2 decades, there have been different governments here, but they failed to deliver. We have a river that's polluted, Yamuna. We have the air pollution at such a dangerous level that it's difficult to go out without a mask. You had a situation where the Chief Minister was building his nest, which is the Sheesh Mahal, while people of Delhi were suffering from COVID. There was no oxygen available. One single rain, and you had floods in the situation, no silting was happening. So these are conditions that people have suffered. So there was a writing on the wall. If you did move out of Delhi or you went around Delhi, you'd see the difference. And I think this is no miracle that has happened. It's your performance that has failed. The guarantees of the government led by Modi ji is the visible factor, where the double-engine government has been on performance all the time, and that has been established in all the states. So the Abda, the great disaster that was waiting to happen has happened. So the writing on the wall is very clear. If the message is received properly, the Congress will introspect. They have done many launches of Rahul Gandhi that has failed. There's a need for change of leadership in the Congress party. And if the congressmen desire that their party needs to survive in this system, they need to have an ideology. You cannot win elections on the base of hatred. Hatred and venom doesn't take you anywhere. You need to deliver. You need to have good governance. These are important factors to survive in a democratic setup. This, I think, is a message to Congress Party, to Abda and the India Alliance, especially to SP, which accuse the Election Commission of being dead. Yeah. So these are things that doesn't happen.
Ajay, Tom Vadakan, the former AICC secretary who defected to BJP, saying there's a lack of ideology. Is it correct?
Well,
is ideology making a difference? He said it.
Look, I wouldn't call it lack of ideology, but I would certainly call it Kejriwal is a tough nut to crack. Sometimes with his moves, it's difficult to figure out what is his ideology on the issue of, let's say, secularism, for example. Brijesh was pointing out, right, that during the CAA sort of agitation, he just kept kept mum. We didn't know where he stood. Similarly, if you remember recently, he sort of gave, 2,500 rupees to temples ka, pujaris, and same thing with gurudwaras, but he didn't do with other religion. So again, he's very difficult to figure out. Does he, in BJP's case, we know they stand for Hindutva. In Kejriwal's case, you don't know. He'll talk at one place in secular terms, in another place in non-secular terms. So he's a tough nut to crack. Also, so after 5 years, he was busy hiring, rich businessmen into the party. Obviously, he was sort of shifting grounds. He didn't attract the middle class so much, but he tried to attract a lot of traders, right? Now, so again, was he making an ideological compromise? Did he need to make it? Was he shifting ground because he felt that the ground was shifting beneath his feet? I mean, do remember from 2015, his numbers did come down a bit in 2020, right? 5 seats he lost. Same thing with percentage vote came down. But these compromises he had begun to make. The last of all, this liquor scam, that brought out a complete sort of a different Kejriwal. Also, that Sheesh Mahal. I mean, think of the Kejriwal that most of us saw in 2012, 2013, even after he became the chief minister during the agitation, in that car of his, he would sit, it would be raining. All of us thought, wow, a revolution is taking place. And suddenly we see a 180-degree shift in this man. So yes, not lack of ideology, but ideological inconsistency. You cannot figure out you cannot pinpoint your finger. Rahul Gandhi has moved leftward completely, right? Towards caste survey, towards protection.
He has defined
So,
you can actually pinpoint Rahul Gandhi's politics and economic thought now.
Absolutely.
You can say this is what he is. That's what he is. I mean, you have to give it to him. You can say that he's left of center, he's doing a lot of OBC politics, he's doing a lot of social justice politics, but you can say this is what he stands for.
But Kejriwal is ambiguous, right?
Yeah, he is ambiguous.
And is it intentionally ambiguous, or is it simply...
Like for example, whether you like it or not, his position on Savarkar has not changed, even at the expense of allies.
See, Kartikeya, I would say that he was perhaps one of the most challenging adversary. I completely agree with what he was saying at the start, that BJP was not able to figure out who Arvind Kejriwal is. If you remember, he was the first one because we were inside the parliament at that point of time, and news came that he started calling Prime Minister psychopath and all.
Yeah.
And it created a furor, people saying that, you can't call Prime Minister that. And he was also one of the first one, like, everyone kept on egging Priyanka Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi.
Okay, let's cut across to Parvesh Verma.
और मैं ये जीत का श्रेय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को देता हूँ। कौन होगा अब मुख्यमंत्री? आपको इस बात का भरोसा था? मैं
साहिब सिंह वर्मा
दिल्ली की जनता का बहुत एक बार फिर से धन्यवाद करता हूँ। और ये जीत, ये प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की जीत है, ये सभी दिल्ली वासियों की जीत है। मुख्यमंत्री का चेहरा कौन होगा?
Giving the credit to Prime Minister as usual, everyone would be. Please complete your argument, Brijesh.
So I'm saying that, and he was the first one, everybody kept on egging or asking Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi that if you're so sure you want to turn around, why don't you take on Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Kejriwal was the person who took on Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He went and fought election and lost in Varanasi. But the fact is that it, reinforced his image as someone who is not shy of taking on. That's why he, very carefully constructed this David versus Goliath, and a person who is not afraid to take on even the topmost industrialist. At that point, all the press conferences against, Mukesh Ambani and calling everybody and all. But I think, somehow in the last 2-3 years, he lost the Midas touch he had with the people. Usually one announcement by him would see the entire Delhi and the Aam Aadmi party scurrying over, and the BJP would be at a loss of word. I think his justification in what led to Liquorgate and complete dismissal of that, and also the kind of, the kind of defense they provided for Sheesh Mahal, that let's go to see what Prime Minister house is, or let's see what other Chief Minister is. No Chief Minister said that I'm going to live in a 2-bedroom house. No Chief Minister said. Arvind Kejriwal said, this is what I will do once I become the Chief Minister. And what helped BJP also is that what exactly was Sheesh Mahal, nobody knew till a video leaked. And then many were aghast at the kind of opulence which was there at the official residence of Arvind Kejriwal, and how this same person was talking about, I will never enter into this, I will always travel into the car. I think the disconnect started happening in the last couple of years, and this is what has resulted in this.
The word I think that captures Kejriwal is he's a political chameleon. That's what he is, right? I hope I'm not being unparliamentary. I'm saying political chameleon. You can't
Shapeshifter.
Sorry?
Shapeshifter.
A chameleon that changes colors.
Yes, absolutely. Every time you try to pinpoint, he switches around.
Yeah, but
and that's what is Achilles heel, which proved today.
Sharath Trivedi, BJP spokesperson, continues to be with us. Mr. Trivedi, 46-24-0.
Well, it's a comprehensive defeat. They cannot say that there was a mixed mandate. The Delhi people have comprehensively put him in his place. There is a saying in English, there are lies, there are greater lies, and then there are statistics. He has changed that definition. There are lies, there are greater lies, and then there is Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. He lies from his ears, he lies from his hair, he lies from his, you name it, he lies. He said that Delhi did not get the right quantity of oxygen. He needed 1,500 tons. When the oxygen audit was done, it came out that Delhi only needed 700 tons of oxygen a day. He said that he cannot fix the problem of pollution in Delhi because the Punjab is the source of pollution, and once his government is in Punjab, then he's going to fix it in Delhi. Once he had his government in Punjab, then he says that the problem is not in Punjab, the problem is in Haryana. Then he came out with this crazy idea that the Chief Minister of Haryana was mixing poison in the Yamuna. He said that he's going to clean Yamuna thrice over. He said he's going to have bath in Yamuna, he's going to drink the Yamuna water out right out from the river itself. When did that happen? He said that he's going to get 15 lakh cameras in Delhi, and RTI comes out with the information that he has only installed 250,000 cameras. He is the and Samajwadi Party is a very natural ally to the Aam Aadmi Party. Samajwadi Party had sent Atiq Ahmed, a legendary leader of theirs, to the chairman Noida authorities home to beat him up. Now, Arvind Kejriwal has beaten up his own chief secretary. It is unprecedented. Never before in the country has happened that senior government officers are being beaten up. Swati Maliwal was beaten up because this is a party with a difference. So they do everything differently. They are going to come out with accusations. Then he came out with sorry to Arun Jaitley ji. He came out sorry with Nitin Gadkari. He can lie like nobody's business. And there is a saying, another saying in English, that you kick the ladder with which you climb. He used Anna Hazare, he used Prashant Bhushan, he used Kumar Vishwas, he used Ashutosh to climb up. And then he kicked the ladder. He kicked everybody of note who supported him during his years of struggle. When he came to power, he kicked out everybody. I know there are people who have sent their own hard-earned money on a monthly basis to his party coffers. What did he do with them? So this is, and to nail this person in this liquor scam was one of the toughest things that the central government probably ever faced, because we are dealing with an IITN with being an income tax officer to boot. He knew how to escape the clutches of the law because he was the one who used to enforce it. He's the one who who created this party while still working as an income tax officer, and he was drawing salary from the income tax department. Then when the income tax department launched a prosecution against him, then he had to pay 9 lakhs back to them. And the ultimate irony was that he is the one who went to meet the French president wearing Hawaii slippers. He was so honest and he was so poor and garib and so Aam Aadmi that he could not even afford a pair of shoes. So we are dealing with one of the most brilliant minds the country has ever seen, who landed up on the wrong side of law and who landed up in politics.
Right, sir. If you can hold on with us, let us bring in the voice of the AAP spokesperson as well. Babbi Badal, was this voter fatigue or was this a clear rejection of AAP governance in the state of Delhi? This debacle for you, how do you read it?
Ma'am, first of all, whatever it was, we bow our head in respect of the mandate. We gracefully accept it. But let me clarify 2-3 things. First of all, my friend from BJP, he goes on and on about Kejriwal being a liar, Kejriwal being corrupt, and he says it was very difficult to nail him in Liquorgate. So I think that gets the cat out of the bag. They were from the first day that Kejriwal founded the Aam Aadmi Party, they were trying to nail him, because they could not tolerate any party which said it was a party with a difference. Their whole strength was spent.
Logical reasoning coming on the Delhi Liquorgate scandal. There's no clarification from the Aam Aadmi Party on many of the points that have been highlighted by the Enforcement Directorate. So we know conviction hasn't happened, but leaders are still on bail. Those charges will continue to be probed.
Mr. Babbi Badal, I think there's a bit of there's a bit of a problem with the line.
Anshul also with
we are
us.
joined by Anshul Avijit, spokesperson Congress Party. It's a very disappointing performance by Congress Party, Anshul. This is the third time in a row that you have failed to secure a single seat in Delhi.
Well, good to be on your channel. Yeah, it's the first time I'm coming here, so congratulations. Listen, for the Congress Party, I'm not, I'm not beside myself with joy with the results coming out. I think there are a few positives. I think we have marginally improved our vote share. We ran a very, very positive and a very spirited campaign, I should say, with all our top leadership of Delhi actually fighting the elections. Sometimes it's very important to fight, to reorganize, to rejuvenate party cadres and build that organization. Look, things can happen. It's been disappointing, I know, but things can turn around very quickly. And I will give you the example of Telangana, where just a year before the Telangana Assembly polls, nobody gave Congress a chance. And in 1 year, you quickly turn things around and look at where you are. So things happen very quickly in politics. These are shifting sands. of fidelity and loyalty, they can happen. It's much more important to build organizations and work on them, build cadres, things you might have lost. Remember that we were the party in power for 3 terms in Delhi. Right.
You're reminding yourself that?
Sorry?
You're reminding yourself of the rules of the game. It's important to connect with the cadre. It's important for an organization to come together.
We're doing that. We did it in Telangana, Nabila. We've done it throughout. Sometimes it's important to do it in other places where perhaps it's not been done that adequately. And here the top leadership of the Congress party actually fought the elections.
But what explains your third term duck?
Sure. I am admitting there are things to be done, and this was a step forward in that. In politics, time actually collapses when you actually win, and the times of defeat are lost. So this can happen very quickly. Turnarounds can happen very quickly, as proved by many states. You keep losing, you think there is no chance, you think that the opposition is ascendant, but things turn around. It has happened. This is what history tells us. This is politics. And as for, the Aam Aadmi Party, we fought against their negative politics. They were continuously wrangling with the BJP. The BJP was throwing allegations after allegations, weaponizing the state, throwing top leadership in jail. And here, the AAP was playing victim politics.
Right. But
saying that, and while the garbage on the streets was piling up.
Just to say that the turnaround time to take 15 years for a turnaround and yet not happening is slightly disturbing, because you are the biggest national party. Any opposition to the BJP can and should ideally come from the Congress, because you have that kind of footprint and a network across the country like no other party. So Congress should ideally build itself to be the principal opposition. If you want to be the leader, the big brother of the India alliance, then prove it, show it. But from what we see here, as we see, BJP has come back so quickly. He says turnaround time, it takes time. But look at BJP, 2024 Lok Sabha polls where they nearly lost. They've come back to win 3 states in less than 6 months.
Bharatiya Janata Party has broken the momentum. Anshu, my question to you is slightly different. My question is, will you ever get into alliance with Aam Aadmi Party?
Just did a press conference about what happened in Maharashtra. So
will you ever get into alliance with Aam Aadmi Party? Will you ever get into alliance with Aam Aadmi Party, the Congress?
I'm sorry?
Will you ever get into alliance with Aam Aadmi Party again?
No, look, the problem is, Karthikeya, that, the obituary of the India Alliance after this seems to have been, many people are talking about it across channels where I've been right now. The India Alliance, I think that's where the real story is. The India Alliance is a kind of an ideological compact based on social justice, as some of us spoke about, on secularism. I think that the alliance is bigger than any single election. Right? So this is an election where party cadres, where the party decided that you have to fight it alone. Otherwise, your organization at that level won't build up. You cannot keep making compromises. And there are ambitions of party workers as well. They want to fight. We have been making compromises. We have been in alliances, and very good alliances. Jharkhand is a case in point, often not quoted enough. In the din of that spurious Maharashtra victory, Jharkhand was not quoted. I think it was a very complementary alliance and a Mahagathbandhan, where our weaknesses between the parties was covered and our strengths were worked upon. So alliances, yeah.
Jharkhand is also not often talked about because the fact that Rahul Gandhi didn't went there even once. And it was talked about that the reason.
I was there in Jharkhand.
And it was talked about how do you look at the fact that it's like when you say that there's an India alliance, it's like running with the hare and hunting with the hound. You're saying that in one state you decide to go alone and in another state you decide to go together. How does this strategy work, and how does then the cadre work or the party gets built? If you're not able to take a decision of how you want to deal the situation in Delhi. The voter chose BJP as an alternative to Aam Aadmi Party, but nobody went to Congress Party. And this is the third time when there's a duck.
I do admit that there are contradictions in every alliance. It's not a perfect sort of symmetry between them. Okay. There are seats you have to contest. There are compromises made. There are sacrifices made. There's give and take. Sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes they do. There are ambitions of party workers. There are things to reconcile. But the broader ideology of the
of Congress party workers' ambitions are certainly not being catered to. From the looks of it, it seems like there's no reshuffle in the party structure, hierarchy, and I think this is what has really led to...
There are multiple states where DCC has not been formed. There are
Yeah.
multiple states
So that-
where the
how is that
organization
catering to
below
the party
PCC,
workers'
for example, in
ambitions?
Odisha. But I'll just give you an example. I know it's a tough state, but look at the organization at the level of DCC. That's where the organization functions. It's not been organized. There are multiple states like that. But today is not the day when we discuss Congress.
Correct.
Let me go back to Sharath Trivedi. How will you streamline? This is a question I'm taking you in a little ahead of the time. Delhi needs to be restructured financially. Will you continue with all the freebies which Kejriwal had given, water, electricity, which were criticized as revenue by Bharatiya Janata Party? Will there be a restructuring of Delhi's exchequer, sir?
No, we are going to do whatever we have promised. There's an old saying of Bharatiya Janata Party ki jo kehte hai, so karte hai. So whatever we have said, we are going to do. And like we did not end up with bankruptcy in the states where we offered these services to the people or to the needy. But Delhi, we are going to reorganize the things. We are going to reorganize the finances or the mess that has been created. We are going to fix the problem. The first time in the history of Delhi government, in the last 31 years, Delhi government went into debt by 2,000 crores. So now we are going to fix the problem. Whatever we have promised will be delivered, and we are going to work the finances to ensure that it happens.
So you're going to reorganize the finances. I think it's going to be, Mr. Prasad, it's going to be a tough thing for any new chief minister to do. 10 years of free electricity and water, it has changed the template.
Yeah, of course. But remember, in the run-up to the campaign, the BJP had constantly maintained. Of course, Aam Aadmi Party said it's a revenue surplus state, so they're by and large meeting all the commitments and went on to promise a little more. And now you have a situation where probably the revenues and the expenditure, there'll be a mismatch. This was a question, I think, on your channel, the BJP spokesperson said, no, BJP does its calculations before it promises. So now is the time to walk the talk. We'll see how it happens, because just yesterday, in one of the conferences, the Congress party and Shiv Sena and others pointed out, and probably when a report came from Maharashtra, that the scheme for women welfare, that Ladki Bahin, it is being restructured or rejigged for whatever reason. And after the payments were made in the initial phase, the second tranche of payments are still in the works. So obviously that tells that this is an issue which is going to resonate with the Indian population and Indian states in different states, where your budget mismatch. We have a FRMB which we have passed almost 2 decades ago, but the revenue deficits keep on increasing, and with the kind of debate that's happening around freebies that we've been talking about in every, I mean, how do you, where do you go from where we are?
Let me just take this discussion for a minute. I'll take a deviation. I'll go to Brijesh in Milkipur. BJP is having a lead.
Thank God for them.
BJP is having a lead. How am I supposed to read that?
Well, right from the start, look, I mean, it was very clear that BJP is going to win this bypoll. Because it had put the entire might of the government there.
Yeah.
We have seen ministers camping there, people being made in charge of booths and all, powerful ministers and powerful chieftains of particular communities and all. They were made there, and so because if there was some the result of Milkipur would go awry, it would have been a huge loss of face for the BJP, for the Prime Minister, because it falls into the Ayodhya Lok Sabha. Yes, I mean the result is going as per on expected lines, I would say, and the BJP has able to save any kind of last minute blushes as far as Milkipur is concerned.
And the second thing, Ajit, in Mustafabad, which has a population of 39.5%, Mr. Bisht has won.
Yes, absolutely.
Mohan Singh Bisht has taken that seat. How are we supposed to see that? Mustafabad win or Bharatiya Janata Party?
Yeah, in fact, the last thing I looked at when I was checking the census figures of the constituency, it had overwhelming 78% Muslim voters. Now, obviously, there are what we call divisions within the Muslim votes, Shias and Sunnis, but given the fact that he has won with such a huge majority, and quite a number of the candidates, Congress, AAP and others, are actually Muslims. Obviously, the Muslim vote has gone towards the BJP. Now, one reason could be that they did phenomenal work in the constituency. I've seen that in UP in the past, in Agra, in one particular constituency. I had seen a Hindu candidate receiving a lot of Muslim votes. When I talked to the voters, they said he is the one who, does all work for us. So it is possible that, or it could be that part of this saffron wave that we see is so overwhelming, it cuts across all communities, it cuts across all divisions, religious, caste, otherwise, don't forget, Delhi is a very cosmopolitan city. So yeah, that could be the other reason that the Muslims in this constituency voted in a major way for the BJP. It is something to be really researched. This is a very important constituency, and
we hear even in Okhla, for that matter, the BJP candidate was leading, but now Amanatullah Khan has seemed to have won. But it clearly is visible here with the trend that the Muslim voter base is shifting allegiance, not even to the Congress. At least with Mustafabad, it's a classic case study to see how the Muslim community have voted. And I would precisely highlight here that it's the Muslim women who favor the BJP in a lot of states. I'm not just speaking about Delhi, I'm talking about Uttar Pradesh as well, and a few other states, like in Maharashtra also we hear there were a lot of Muslim women who voted in favor of the BJP. So it could be the triple talaq that was introduced by the BJP that has led to this, but that said,
it can also be a powerful counter consolidation with Asaduddin Owaisi.
It will be interesting to see how much vote
breaking into that vote.
No, but Asaduddin Owaisi is like he said,
78%. I don't think it's a counter consolidation only of the non-Muslim vote. I think a section of the Muslim voters would have.
That's what I'm saying. That like it will be interesting to see
to
if
find out what she pointed out.
Let me give you the
Muslim
numbers.
Women voters, we need to find out.
So the numbers here are 42,000 for the BJP, at least latest numbers. Asaduddin Owaisi, his party has just got 1,000 odd votes.
There in Mustafabad.
In Mustafabad. So hardly a little dent. Hardly a little dent.
There's a bit of a split between AAP and Congress, but the split doesn't explain the winning of the BJP.
Mustafabad has 39.5% Muslim vote, not 70. It is 30.
The census figure shows 70. It is possible that they didn't cut by constituency but by the district.
I think the constituency, the Mustafabad constituency, which Bisht has won, has 39.5%
so that's
Muslim
40%.
votes.
Then it's
that is 40%.
Possible.
That is why I said. That is why I said.
You need to check the source of this percentage.
That is why I said, because it means that either the counter consolidation has been powerful or this vote has been split. But even if the counter consolidation has taken place, this happened in Uttar Pradesh post 1991. It's not a new thing.
Look, but also Mustafabad is one of the riot hit areas.
That's right.
Tahir Hussain was fielded by AIMI and he was accused in the riot. So
Navina,
I'm sure the constituency people also are frustrated. They don't want to be simmering in tensions all the time.
More than a riot, people don't understand. Trump was in Delhi. The summit was taking place. There was a lot of things at stake for Modi, and the riots took place.
That's right.
I don't recall living in Delhi as a boy, as a journalist, in different avatars, that something like that happened. It's such a high-profile, conclave or meeting is taking place, and then you have such a, I would say, a concentrated riot area which just erupts.
Erupted.
It erupts, and then that boy with that weapon in hand, suddenly people were aghast that, how does one have a, because it's not wild west of UP.
That guy Shahrukh held the gun
at the police.
Was that Mustafabad?
I am not 100% sure of the...
Okay, so but riot hit area of Mustafabad clearly has voted in favor of the BJP.
That's right.
I think one question I would like to ask Mr. Bobby Badal. Mr. Badal,
Brijesh,
my name is Brijesh. I just want to ask you one thing. It's a loss is just a part of a victory, or loss is part of any political party's process. But how do you explain Arvind Kejriwal, the top man as far as Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, your most popular leader, losing election from Delhi? What does it tell? What does it tell about the future of Aam Aadmi Party? And the second question which I would like to ask you is, does it also foretells about choppy waters as far as Punjab politics is concerned?
I don't think so, sir. Let me tell you, Arvind Kejriwal was targeted by the BJP specifically. They tried to decapitate our party by putting corruption cases. Then they tried to, जिसे कहते हैं राजनीतिक सुपारी देना. So they roped in Sheila Dixit's son also, and they made all the calculations, and they funded him, and they whatever possible they tried to decapitate the Aam Aadmi Party. But let me tell you, Arvind Kejriwal cannot be dismissed as a light player. Arvind Kejriwal has built the National Party, the fastest growing national party in the country. And that is only the face of Kejriwal. Only Kejriwal has built it.
You just made, sir, 1 second. You just made an allegation that Sandeep Dixit's son, Sandeep Dixit, Sheila Dixit's son, was funded by the BJP. That I find alarming, your allegation. After all, Congress put him up, right? So why don't you accept that it was the division of votes there that might have hit Kejriwal harder? How did you come with this allegation that the BJP funded Sandeep Dixit?
I'll tell you, there are 2-3 channels, specifically pro-BJP channels, who were totally highlighting Sandeep Dixit. And I'll tell you,
but how does that lead you to believe that it was funded by the BJP? I mean, this is a serious allegation. I mean, in fact, a Congress spokesperson is sitting right next to you.
We don't make this allegation lightly. Let me tell you, we don't make it frivolously. So just give me 2 minutes so that I can.
And then
tell
Anshul
you
will respond to it. Mr. Bobby, if you make this, Anshul will respond to it.
Absolutely.
He has the right to respond to it.
Can I please put in my point?
Go on.
Do I have to respond to every ridiculous charge? I mean, this is not some slinging match where you make these ridiculous things and I have to respond and then defend. You know what the reality is. You're looking at it equally incredibly at this statement. So I'm not even going to venture into this space. This is ridiculous. We are discussing a proper election in a very, very proper way and a mature way. I'm glad we're doing it. Let's just, this is ridiculous.
But Anshul, while you are still there, Anshul, while you are still there, look at what is happening in the whole country. In 2024 Lok Sabha, the Congress doubled its seats to 99. There was hope in the India Alliance camp. And look at it, what happened right after that. You lost Haryana, you lost Maharashtra miserably. You might have won, Jharkhand, but it wasn't your victory exactly.
I'll add a caveat. Actually, before you answer that, I'll just add a caveat. Congress was in alliance with JMM in Jharkhand, and they were in alliance with NC in Kashmir. But if you look at the data in Kashmir, the Hindu-dominated areas, those seats Congress lost. It's the sweep of the NC which pulled through the cart. So let's not go there. But yes.
So there's a new trend setting in, Anshul, and when you said that, we are actually thinking of reviving our organization versus, let's say, our votes. This is right. Neither do I see any revival of organization nor of votes as such. Anshul, sorry.
And look at the vote share: 46.39, 6.38, and 43.47. So the vote share difference.
If you just add that. If you just add AAP and Congress arithmetically, you would have had more votes than the BJP.
Hey, but I'd really like to highlight here. I'd really like to highlight here the numbers that have come from New Delhi constituency. Arvind Kejriwal lost by about 3,000 odd votes. Sandeep Dixit got 4,504 votes.
So
and
just add in that
4,504 votes is what Sandeep Dixit got.
That's
very small amount of votes, but had that candidate not been fielded,
that doesn't happen.
No, but my point is, had Congress and AAP come together and Kejriwal was fielded, the only one fielded as the India bloc candidate, it would have somehow at least Kejriwal would have won.
Pure arithmetic, yes. I would like to let Anshul respond, but I always quote.
If they were allies. I'm saying if they were allies.
I always quote late Arun Jaitley in his off-record briefings. He would always say, "Please remember, there's a difference between chemistry and mathematics."
Exactly.
And in politics, chemistry works. And I still remember he was spot on multiple occasions. Anshul, but you have please respond to Ajit's question.
This is counterfactual now. It doesn't matter. You can keep adding up and you can keep going back and turning the pages of history of what happens. There are decisions that are made that are contingent and based on time, particularly when it comes to an alliance. An alliance is not an easy thing to deal with anyway. There is a party and its cadres and its workers to think of, and they're the largest interests of the alliance. Sometimes it works very well. In Jharkhand, by the way, you keep saying that the Congress rode on the back of the allies. You know, it complemented each other. The Congress gave votes and community votes with the JMM, and which the RJD did not have. It complemented, and therefore I think it was a fine victory there because the Gathbandhan really worked. In other places it works. Sometimes you need a lot more sacrifices and compromises, which the party may not be willing to take. That is the logic of politics. After all, in any alliance, I keep saying, of course, that the India alliance is bigger than any particular election, but sometimes parties are bigger than the India alliance. And these are different judgment calls that you have to take before any election. Of course, you can go back and say, oh, this should have happened or this should not have happened. That's completely counterfactual. We can do it as a process of analysis. I still think that, you know, speaking to people across cadres, particularly from Bihar, where I'm from, so I know that we are deep-rooted in an alliance over there, the Gathbandhan. I fought an election from there. I know what it is like to be with alliances. There are many compromises and sacrifices, and there are also benefits that are made from that. These are calls that you have to take during that time. These are not easy calls. You think that you are, well, we should have, in hindsight, we should have done that. These are not easy calls to take. They're always made which are urgent and contingent, and that's what we've done. By the way, you know, and moving on, I think we were having a very good, also a discussion on the kind of, on the budgetary requirements, on the economy, and I overheard the BJP spokesperson earlier, I think you were talking to Tom Bhatakkan, talking about governance of the BJP and other things, and double engine aa jayega sarkar and all. Look, what the Delhi riots took place in the nose of the BJP. It was the Delhi police that was managed by the BJP, right? And look what they did. Look what they did in Nuh. Look what they've done in Manipur. Look what they've done as far as governance is concerned in the Kumbh Mela, which we are not speaking about. Look what they've done to our economy, where we've thrown it on hot coals, right? The economy has plummeted from the gift that we gave them of a 8%.
In one of the riot hit areas of Delhi, Mustafabad, the BJP has won overwhelmingly.
Regardless, it was a badly, while the President of the United States was having dinner in the Rashtrapati Bhavan, there was a riot taking place in which 50 people were killed. Whatever the electoral outcomes are now 5 years later, it does not matter. It does not wipe away the riot and the mismanagement that took place, the gross mismanagement that continues to take place in our economy, and also the deep fault lines that are emerging.
We are a journalist. We have to play the devil's advocate. Is this symbolically a hit on Rahul Gandhi's politics when he takes the constitution, sticks it on his head, talks about caste survey, moves the entire Congress leftwards in a way? Is this, you know, complete zero in Delhi almost for the, the third time? And similarly, you lost Haryana, you lost Maharashtra, you did not do very well in Jammu and Kashmir. So whatever mandate you gained in the Lok Sabha, doubled your number of seats, it's going down. And next, you are from Bihar and so am I. In Bihar, again, it seems that Mr. Nitish Kumar and BJP combination seems to be on the upswing. So looks like a total drought for Congress party right after the Lok Sabha, with the exception of Jharkhand, and that, as I said, is not your victory.
Right. Sharath Trivedi, in fact, is with us, a BJP spokesperson. A take from you, sir. A quick word on, of course, the Congress was never in contention here, but your direct fight with the Aam Aadmi Party, you've managed to sweep. I think we can comfortably call this a sweep now for the BJP. Do you believe that Prime Minister Modi has worked for you, or is this your your
income tax, that the proposal, a lot of people
the policies that they've come up with in terms of catering to the middle class, and your
exemptions,
freebies
yes.
that you've given, you might not want to call it freebies yourself, but you have matched up with Aam Aadmi Party's freebies as well. So you've breached into the poor, the middle class, and I'm assuming the elite in that sense are a handful. So let's not get there. You've managed, what really worked for you? This was an election directly fought between Prime Minister Modi and Arvind Kejriwal.
It was only one thing, I make it very clear, it was Vikas, Vikas and Vikas. Absolutely, we don't have any PDA, we don't have any Hindu, Muslim, minority, secular, we don't have that kind of narrative. It is just Vikas, that is the end of a Viksit Bharat. This is the fastest growing economy, even after the fall because of the international pressures. It is the fastest growing economy. We have the largest ever foreign exchange reserves, about $650 billion, and we have the largest export in the history of the country at about $850 billion. This is the country which has got the largest construction projects in the infrastructure. We have the largest social in the delivering. They were trying to do social engineering. We were trying to do social delivering. Now 1 rupee leaves the government, 1 rupee reaches the people. Unlike what Rajiv Gandhi had said that only 15 paisa leaves. It is only the people have put their stamp on Vikas. And I would like to add that Delhi does not have that system that, one size fits all. Mr. Kejriwal came out with this freebie scheme in Gujarat. He lost. He came out with the same freebie scheme in Goa. He lost. And out of 39 seats, he lost 38 seats in Goa. And Delhi is a state which is an aspiration, which has got aspirational people. You cannot lob that story that anybody that the private socialism which only we have in India, we does not have any. Saying in the world that anybody who has 2 square meals a day is a dacoit. This Adani Ambani narrative or Chand Udyogpati narrative that has run, they have done it to death. And also this idea of Samvidhan ki hatya, the reservation khatam kar denge, and the EVM machines. People have just seen through everything. It's a highly educated state. It is an aspirational state. And they have seen Kejriwal. They gave him 2 clear mandates. Overwhelming mandates. Overwhelming majority they gave them. But what did they get in return? Mr. Kejriwal was lying in India, and his protege, Mr. Aman, he lied in Germany. He said that BMW is going to open a plant in Punjab. And BMW, a very prestigious organization, their company, they made out the statement that we have no such plans at all. So people are not stupid. In all this narrative of parties of Gadbandhan and Thagbandhan, one thing we must be very clear that we have got intelligent people. People are not stupid. They can see through the narrative. They can see through lies.
Sir,
they can
I certainly have a
kind
very
of propaganda that people have
direct
created.
question, and it would be so helpful if you could give us a direct answer. Who's going to be the face of the BJP, the CM for Delhi? Parvesh Verma has managed to beat Arvind Kejriwal. The celebration seems quite exuberant. We also know that Virendra Sachdeva really strategized for your party. So who's the front runner in your view?
Well, the chief minister would be from BJP. I think that pretty much.
That we know. That we know. Your ally is 1-1.
Thanks for the clarification. Otherwise, people have started thinking could it be from Congress party?
After 27 years, we are coming back in Delhi. People have blessed us. We respect the mandate. We respected the mandate earlier also. We have been delivering. It is a simple party which delivers. And that is what the people want. They do not want these
CM candidate, sir. CM candidate. Direct question.
Of socialism and the secularism that they come out with.
Congress gave us Sheila Dikshit. AAP gave us Atishi. Will BJP bring about a woman chief minister, sir? Sheila Dikshit, Atishi. Will we have another woman chief minister in Delhi?
Well, we don't declare the chief minister. You're a senior journalist. We don't declare the chief minister on the press debates. The party is going to decide it. The parliamentary board is going to decide, and we will have it pretty soon, sooner than we expect.
Okay, thank you very much, Sharad Trivedi. We're going to cut across to some reactions coming in right from the ground. Let's hear it.
Well, we're coming to you from the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters here in the national capital. And the scenes over here are almost, not almost, perhaps are opposite of what we witness in the BJP headquarters right now. No party leaders, almost no workers over here, and just a deserted party headquarters here in the national capital. Only the media personnel over here are making a beeline just for that address. Probably they could hear from Arvind Kejriwal, who himself has conceded from the New Delhi seat. Parvesh Verma is the person to whom he lost these elections, and perhaps how he has termed these elections as some of those elections that are perhaps most crucial to the fabric of the democratic structure of this nation. This thing has collapsed, called the Aam Aadmi Party, because the Aam Aadmi Party was clinging all the hopes from the Delhi polls to portray them as one of the beacons of the opposition at a national level. So something which is now going to resonate on the national arena as well. As we say, polls in Delhi, but has national impact.
प्रधानमंत्री जी के साथ में चलकर काम कर पाएगी। हमें उनका 10 साल से साथ नहीं मिल पा रहा था, दिल्ली में कोई काम नहीं हो पा रहा था, मगर ये जो सरकार बन रही है दिल्ली में, ये प्रधानमंत्री जी के विजन को दिल्ली में लेके आएगी। तो मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी का धन्यवाद करता हूं कि उन्होंने अपना समय दिया, और मैं ये जीत का श्रेय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को देता हूं।
Scene of celebration at the BJP headquarters. We have with us Kuldeep Singh, who will tell us what he feels about this historic victory that BJP has just achieved. Sir, after 26 years, the BJP is coming back to power in Delhi.
ये माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी की नीतियों की जीत है, जनता का माननीय मोदी जी विश्व के सबसे लोकप्रिय नेता, उन पर जो विश्वास है उसकी जीत है। जनता को पता है कि मोदी जी की गारंटी पूरा होने की गारंटी उसकी जीत है, और ये चोट है अरविंद केजरीवाल की उस शीश महल पर, जो भ्रष्टाचार का शीश महल था। एक चोट है शराब घोटाले पर, ये वोट चोट है शिक्षा के नाम पर क्लासरूम घोटाले पर, और ये चोट है उन टूटी सड़कें, गंदा पानी, और उन पर चोट है। और ये जीत दिल्ली भी डबल इंजन की सरकार चाहती है, और माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी का विकास चाहती है।
आम आदमी पार्टी पिछले 11 साल से दिल्ली को दे रही थी। ये जीत उस झूठ के खिलाफ है जो आम आदमी पार्टी दिल्ली के लोगों को परोस रही थी। भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी, नरेंद्र मोदी जी के आशीर्वाद से एक ऐसी सरकार बनेगी जो दिल्ली के लोगों ने जो कष्ट भोगे हैं उन कष्टों से मुक्ति दिलाएगी, दिल्ली को दोबारा विकास के रास्ते पे लेके जाएगी। और निश्चित तौर पे दिल्ली के लोगों ने जैसा विश्वास भारतीय जनता पार्टी पे और नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में दिखाया है, तो हम भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं का और जिम्मेवारी बन जाती है कि उस विश्वास पे जो है हम और दिल्ली के लोगों की उम्मीदों पे और जोर से खड़े होते हैं।
Well, you can see the kind of exuberance, the enthusiasm, the spirit here in the BJP Delhi office. Dhol, Nagara, everything is playing here since morning as we've been showing you the visuals. Let me talk to some more party cadres as we've been speaking. Subhash Gupta here joining us. Subhash जी, आप बताइए कि ये जो सेलिब्रेशन है सुबह से हम देखते आ रहे हैं, और अभी तो मैंडेट ने भी जवाब दे दिया है।
जी, ये सेलिब्रेशन 27 साल से हम आज के दिन का इंतजार कर रहे थे, और 27 साल के बाद ऊपर वाले ने, दिल्ली की जनता ने हमें ये मौका दिया है। तो इस मौका को हम दिल्ली वालों के साथ में मिलकर भुनाएंगे। कहीं ना कहीं दिल्ली के लोगों ने ये झूठे वाल को करारा जवाब दिया है और झाड़ू को बिखेर दिया है।
Well, you can hear the slogan hearing of Modi, Modi, right behind me. Let me ask my camera person to pan onto the shots here. People dancing at this point here at the BJP office, as you can see. That is the level of celebrations going on here. People seem to be rejoicing this particular decisive mandate that people in Delhi have given to them. People in Delhi have trusted them with after 27 long years here in the national capital. This is Sriya Kundu with camera person Aryan reporting for News9.
We are coming to you live from the BJP office here at Pandit Pant Marg, and celebrations have already erupted. We have spoken to a lot of people. The dole and nagadas are here, the colors are here, the flags are here. As you can see, the party workers are already dancing with all the doles and nagaras. They are waving the flag of the BJP. They are saying that the Aam Aadmi Party has been swept away from the national capital because of the corruption that they did here, because of the cases against them, polluted Yamuna, polluted air quality. This is all that the workers of the BJP as well as the party leaders have to say for the reason for this victory. They have already started celebrating. The sweets are being distributed here on the ground as well. All of them are treating each other with the sweet, congratulating each other. We have spoken to a lot of people. As you can clearly see, they are chanting Modi, Modi as well. These are the celebrations here at the BJP office at Pandit Pant Marg. All eyes are going to be on that address that the Prime Minister Modi will be giving to the party workers in the evening. What he has to say. Everybody is congratulating. It's electrifying over here. On ground, people are literally dancing. The doles and nagara, as you can clearly see through the mics as well. Everybody is dancing and they are extremely happy. They are saying that this is the reason of Prime Minister Modi as well as his welfare streams, that the residents of the national capital have chosen the Saffron Party this time around and not the Aam Aadmi Party. In fact, we have spoken to a couple of leaders also. They said we don't even want to talk to the Congress Party because they are nowhere there in the list. If I can show you the visuals of the doles and nagara as well, and the crowd here at the BJP office too, you can clearly see. These are the special doles that have been called in for the celebrations today at the BJP office.
27 साल बहुत लंबा अरसा होता है और लैंडस्लाइड जैसा शब्द जो है वो एक तरीके से सही भी है आपका ऐसा शब्द इस्तेमाल करना, पर मैं तो दिल्ली के नागरिक, दिल्ली के वोटर्स को सल्यूट करता हूं। उनको मैं समझता हूं कि ये सही मायने में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी और कार्यकर्ताओं ने जो जीत हासिल की है बहुत शानदार है। पर इसके रियल विक्टर, रियल अगर किसी की जीत है तो दिल्ली के नागरिक की जीत है, क्योंकि इतने साल से उनको एक तरीके से उनकी डेवलपमेंट को, उनके जीवन को, पोल्यूशन, रिवर पोल्यूशन, एयर पोल्यूशन, ऐसी बातें करते जाते थे केजरीवाल जी।
आपदा वालों को भगाना है, इस बार भाजपा सरकार बनाना है।
आपदा दिल्ली में नहीं आई, आपदा भाजपा में आई।
जो बेईमान होता है वही अपने आप को सर्टिफिकेट देता है।
Mama must be missing us, na?
Let's take it one day, give me one day. Feel the itch under my skin, it's a fun day. You been laughing when you see we are done, hey. It doesn't matter, just gotta get going.
New GT line, Tygoon and Virtus. Volkswagen.
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी, चाहे जो भी हो मैं हूँ, चाहे जो भी हो मैं हूँ। गले से लगा बिन सोचे कल हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप? सर,
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, with you always.
Your promise is IGI certified. 14-step grading process. IGI Trust certified.
One look and I'm falling for you like crazy, crazy.
Unlimited Life. Bookings open on 14th February.
Alright, a very warm welcome to all News9 viewers. I'm Neha Bhan. The fall from grace is complete for Arvind Kejriwal, who faced defeat at the hands of Parvesh Verma. Viewers, it's now safe to say that the Sheesh Mahal issue has taken a toll on the Aam Aadmi Party. That's not it. His beleaguered deputy Manish Sisodia also lost the Jampura seat. BJP has surprised many by making a historic comeback after 27 years. Big questions here. What does this crucial win in Delhi mean for the BJP nationally? What does it really signify for the Aam Aadmi Party? And what about Congress, which couldn't even open its account? Over the next 2 hours, in fact, I'll be breaking it all down here on News 9 for all our viewers. But before that, let me quickly, introduce all our guests. I have with me Mr. Ajit Keja, who's in fact a political analyst. I'm also joined by Professor KG Suresh. He's a senior journalist. I'm also joined by Savio Rodriguez, who's a senior journalist. And I also have with me Ruchika Agarwal, who's a BJP spokesperson. A very warm welcome to you, gentlemen. You know, I'll start with you, Mr. Jha. I need to understand what here happened to Arvind Kejriwal. You know, what went wrong for the one-time Mr. Clean?
You know, you actually partly answered the question when you use the word Sheesh Mahal. That was certainly symbolically used by even Prime Minister Modi. But I think the bigger reason, I would argue, was the liquor scam, the liquor gate, as people call it. Remember Arvind Kejriwal, he came on the promise of India against corruption. He was supposed to be the clean guy. He was supposed to be the guy who would sit in his Maruti Wagonar when it was raining, and he said, I'll be ruling Delhi from there. This is barely in 2013. And the same Arvind Kejriwal completely turns around. You know, ideologically he turns around. You know, he was supposed to be the fighter for the poor. Suddenly he gets candidates with huge sums of money, gives them tickets. If you remember during Rajya Sabha, even later, there's a total shift in Arvind Kejriwal. As I argued, it's very difficult to figure out later on, after 5 years, he backstabs many of his allies. He doesn't get along with India ally partners. All the time he centers the entire AAP on himself. Even the Punjab Chief Minister was not given his autonomy, even though AAP won there. Punjab is a much bigger state than Delhi. Arvind Kejriwal is almost like wants to be a man in total control, and in that he loses himself. He's no more the face that Delhi loved. In fact, on the issue of corruption, he went to jail, incarcerated for 5 months, although there was the ED could not come out with strong evidence, but everyone knew there was a scam. Money from here was shifted to during the Goa assembly polls. After all, the entire alcohol thing was withdrawn. So, you know, dal mein kuch kala tha. And the whole of Delhi realized it. And then he began, when he came out, he wanted to go back to his Sheesh Mahal, but the Supreme Court did not allow him. So then he began sort of playing drama. Remember that the water, he sort of said that has been poisoned by Haryana. I mean, this was a crass allegation from a guy who's had a background in IIT, who has a background in the government, to make such, you know, divisive sort of claims in the middle of an election, and then he sort of shouts and tells the EC, you come and arrest me. After all, the Election Commission is not going to arrest him. It doesn't have powers to arrest him. So this is a man thoroughly confused.
Right.
So therefore, as you rightly said, fall from grace. And because he made AAP his face, his fall from grace led to the fact that today the AAP has lost power in Delhi.
I'd request you to hold on to that thought, Mr. Jha. In fact, I'm also joined by Ruchika Agarwal, the BJP spokesperson. First of all, Ruchika, congratulations to you. Do tell us, what do you think, clicked with the voters this time?
And heartiest congratulations to you all in the in the newsroom, and heartiest congratulations to the Delhi ki Janta, who's come out in large numbers and voted for Viksit Bharat plus Viksit Delhi, for Narendra Modi ji, for Bhajpa, for BJP. It's a big celebration time. If you come to the Delhi State Office, you will see the way people are celebrating here.
होली खेली जा रही है रंगों से, पूरा 7 रंगों में हुआ है दिल्ली स्टेट ऑफिस, and it's a big celebration time. Finally 27 years of exile has got over. Delhi is going to get the maximum benefits and the policies and the schemes that they've been debarred, and they were debarred from getting these facilities because of a government who just wanted to play a blame game since 11 years. They never wanted to apply any of those policies and the schemes that Modi ji was giving. But plus, they were busy doing corruption. They were busy looting the Delhi people. And finally, Delhi se aapda bahar ja chuki hai. We have a party. We have a government who's going to only and only think and work for the betterment of the society and the betterment of the Delhi people.
To stay with us, Ruchika. In fact, I'm also joined by Savio Rodriguez. I'm quickly going to come to you, Savio. You know, I mean, you're smiling, that says it all, but still I want to understand from you, with Arvind Kejriwal and, you know, Sisodia both lost, what does it really mean for the Aam Aadmi Party's future?
Well, the Aam Aadmi Party had come in with an aspirational kind of politics, where many people, including me, when the India Against Corruption was at its peak, believed that there was a need for the common man to be participatory as far as elections, governance is concerned. But what happened is, when Arvind Kejriwal came into power along with the Aam Aadmi Party and came into power with brute majority the second time, the power went to Aam Aadmi Party's head, in particular its leaders. That's Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia, to be precise.
Absolutely, that is precisely why I took these two names,
right.
Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia.
So, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure not many of them are going to like it, Arvind Kejriwal from the activist actually progressed to becoming a charlatan when he realized that the people of Delhi will continue to believe in him in all his theatrical politics and all the nautanki. People will say, okay, this is Arvind Kejriwal, he's an Aam Aadmi. But what he then started to show the people of Delhi is that he's nothing but a khas Aadmi.
Are you saying that Anna Hazare would be the happiest?
Well, Anna Hazare should be blamed for bringing him on the scene in the first place. He should be blamed first, because what Arvind Kejriwal is, and I'm saying this and I've been saying it on most of my writings and most of the television shows, Arvind Kejriwal kind of politics is anarchist. We cannot have anarchy in this country. Everything to do with his governance was driven by Nautanki and politics. Nautanki politics is what he was driven by. And this country doesn't require people like him. I'm glad the people of Delhi have decided to send Arvind Kejriwal home, and with Arvind Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia also home. Because his number 1 and number 2 in the Aam Aadmi Party are actually charlatans, and they should be in jail at this point of time. And they will go to jail.
Well, looks like so, precisely, looks like that is in the offing. But coming to you, Professor KG Suresh, do tell us, can the party really survive? Can the Aam Aadmi Party really survive without its top leaders at the helm?
Well, I am somebody who does not believe in writing political obituaries, having been, a political observer for the last over 3 decades. We have seen how after the emergency and 77 elections, the Congress came back under Mrs. Gandhi in 80. So I think that politics is very dynamic. But having said that, I think that one factor alone cannot be attributed to the defeat of BJP, that is Sheesh Mahal. There has been a lot of factors. Secondly, I think that it would be really unfair for BJP to BJP if we attribute this electoral victory as a vote against Aam Aadmi Party. It is as much a vote for the BJP as much as it is against the Aam Aadmi Party. Because please remember, in the last 3 elections and the outcome of the last 2 assembly elections, the middle class always, felt totally left out. they felt that this is a party everybody would speak
and
about
interestingly
Jhuggi
enough,
Jhopdi
and Professor, interestingly enough, you know, when Arvind Kejriwal, Savio, you know, I'd also like you to come in on this. When Arvind Kejriwal announced the party's manifesto, the focus was on middle class. He said that, you know, nobody really has done anything for the middle class, so here is what I'm presenting for it. He tried all his might to woo the, you know, middle class, but clearly that hasn't translated into votes.
The reason I feel very disappointed with people like Arvind Kejriwal is because the aspiration of the middle class people to move into politics. You see, the Aam Aadmi Party gave hope to the middle class people to tell them politics is not necessarily about those who have come from political families or people who have a lot of money. Even the Aam Aadmi can, you know, exercise his right to take a political
just
career.
hold on to that thought. In fact, I'm sorry, you know, I'm interrupting you here, but we have, in fact, an exclusive chat with Parvesh Verma. Let's quickly take a listen.
प्रवेश वर्मा जो आज अरविंद केजरीवाल जायंट किलर, जिनको जायंट किलर कहा जाता है, प्रवेश जी आज आपने बहुत सबसे बड़ी जीत हासिल की है। दिल्ली में पार्टी जीती है, लेकिन आपने लोगों का दिल जीता है, पार्टी वर्कर्स का।
मैं सभी दिल्ली वासियों का हृदय से हाथ जोड़कर धन्यवाद करता हूं। सभी पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं ने बहुत मेहनत करी है। मैं सभी पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं का धन्यवाद करता हूं। ये जीत का श्रेय मैं हमारे लोकप्रिय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को देता हूं। उनकी लोकप्रियता और जो उनके अंदर में विश्वास जताया दिल्ली की जनता ने, ये वो जीत है। हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष आदरणीय जेपी नड्डा जी का, हमारे गृह मंत्री आदरणीय अमित शाह जी का, मैं सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं और ये जीत का श्रेय उन्हीं को जाता है। और दिल्ली के लोगों को मैं ये विश्वास दे सकता हूं कि भारत सरकार के साथ मिलकर हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी के विजन को लेकर दिल्ली में एक अच्छी सरकार हम चलाएंगे। दिल्ली के सारे हमारे किए हुए वायदों को पूरा करेंगे। दिल्ली को बहुत ही सुंदर राजधानी बनाएंगे।
दिल्ली के लिए साहेब सिंह वर्मा जी का एक सपना था और सेकंड लास्ट मुख्यमंत्री बीजेपी की तरफ से वो बने। आपको क्या लगता है, आज आप गृह मंत्री और नड्डा जी से मिलकर भी आए हैं, मुख्यमंत्री के तौर पे यहाँ आपको कई लोग, बहुत हजारों लाखों लोग देखना चाहते हैं, आपको क्या लगता है वक्त आ गया है?
ये फैसला मैं तो अपनी एमएलए की टिकट भी फाइनल नहीं कर सकता हूँ। ये फैसला तो पार्टी की लीडरशिप तय करेगी और विधायक दल तय करेगा।
एक आखिरी प्रश्न, जितने आपने एजेंडे दिए हैं जनता को, वो क्या पहली बैठक में पूरा हो जाएगा?
देखिए, सारे एजेंडा पूरा होंगे। जिन जिन हमने जो बातें कही थी कि पहली बैठक में करेंगे, उसको पहली बैठक में करेंगे।
All right, Rajya Sabha MP Swati Maliwal has also reacted on the Aam Aadmi Party's defeat. Let's quickly take a listen.
अगर इतिहास हम देखें तो वो गवाह है कि अगर कभी भी किसी भी महिला के खिलाफ कुछ गलत हुआ है तो भगवान ने उन गलत करने वाले लोगों को दंड दिया है। आज दिल्ली पूरी तरीके से एक कूड़ादान बन गई है। हालात इतने खराब हैं कि आप दिल्ली में कहीं पे भी चले जाइए, सड़कें खराब पड़ी हैं, टूटी पड़ी हैं, लोगों को पानी गंदा बदबूदार सड़ा हुआ मिल रहा है या फिर मिल ही नहीं रहा है, नालियां ओवरफ्लो कर रही हैं, जगह जगह कूड़ा पड़ा है, एयर पोल्यूशन चरम सीमा पे है, यमुना नदी साफ नहीं हुई है। तो लोगों ने इन सब इश्यूज पे त्रस्त होकर आज ये हाल करके दिया है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जी खुद अपनी सीट हार चुके हैं। इनको ये लगता है कि ये कुछ भी गलत कर देंगे, कुछ भी झूठ बोल देंगे, कुछ भी ड्रामा कर देंगे। इन्होंने मेरे साथ क्या नहीं करा, कितना अत्याचार करा। पहले तो मारा पीटा, उसके बाद फिकवा दिया, उसके बाद चरित्र हरण करा। जिसने मेरी पिटाई करी उसको Z+ सिक्योरिटी दिलवाई, उसको डीजीपी और चीफ सेक्रेटरी पंजाब गवर्नमेंट के रिपोर्ट करते हैं क्योंकि वो चीफ एडवाइजर टू पंजाब चीफ मिनिस्टर बना दिया गया है। उसको लुटियन जोन में MP की कोठी दी गई। तो जिस लेवल का इन्होंने अत्याचार करा और कैरेक्टर असैसिनेशन मेरा करा है, इतना झूठ और भ्रम फैलाया इन लोगों ने, तो मुझे लगता है कि दिल्ली की जनता समझदार है और वो देख सकती है कि उन्होंने क्या करा और उसका जवाब उन्होंने वोटों के द्वारा दिया है।
All right, my guests continue to stay with us. I'm joined by Savio Rodriguez, senior journalist. I also have with me Ajit Keja, senior journalist, and Professor KG Suresh, who's also a senior journalist. Savio, you know, before we sort of heard these reactions, we were discussing what really led to Aam Aadmi Party losing ground. The middle class, manifesto clearly hasn't had any kind of impact.
So you see, like I said, Arvind Kejriwal came as somebody who was going to represent the Aam Aadmi. As he progressed in his political career and started to gain more power, he moved from the Aam Aadmi to the Khas Aadmi. Now, the reason why I dislike Arvind Kejriwal, and I've been open and vocal about it, is because there are many people who might not like political parties like BJP or the Congress. When Aam Aadmi Party came out into the open, there was an aspirational thought for the middle class people to say, let us participate in politics, let us participate in governance, and let us participate in us contributing to the country from a political point of view. Now, after Aam Aadmi Party and the disastrous corruption that they brought to the fore, many people are not going to believe genuine people who come out with opposition or activism after his drama. He was nothing and he is nothing but somebody who is a charlatan. I've been saying this for the last so many years that Arvind Kejriwal is a charlatan. The Aam Aadmi Party has good people, but Arvind Kejriwal with Manish Sisodia, their whole agenda was to fool the people of Delhi and in turn fool the people of India. And I think in Punjab too, there's going to be a sort of tandav taking place after this results.
Right. In fact, I'll also like to take a reaction from Professor KG Suresh. Professor Suresh, the liquor policy taint took its toll on the Aam Aadmi Party's top leadership. Of course, the Sheesh Mahal controversy too, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It dented his image. You see, he came on an anti-corruption platform.
Absolutely.
And he had this squeaky clean image about himself, or a perception that he created. But this liquor policy dented it absolutely. Because somebody who said that he is working for the common people, somebody who said that he represents the Aam Aadmi, was here seen to be minting money through a policy which who benefited whom. Not only that, let me also point out that his entire projection of the education system, touted as one of the best in the world, and the model of health model, all that, had he himself and Manish Sisodia and all these people had said that the students who have passed out from these schools, their parents, they are all going to vote en masse, the beneficiaries of the Mohalla clinics are going to vote en masse. What happened? So, certainly there could have been a couple of good things done here and there, but the way they were projected as if they are the best models for the entire country, was it true? That means that at the ground level things were totally different. And he spent a huge amount of money advertising, publicizing them, which could well have been spent into the implementation of these schemes. And the people saw through it that he was more of hype than substance. This also, certainly dented his image like anything. And not just that, let us not forget that this constant bickering that he had with tussle that he had with the central government, that had brought development to a grinding halt in the capital. You see, in the past too, you had governments led by Sheila Dikshit, which had normal relations with the central government. You had BJP governments which had run during the tenure of the Congress or UPA at the center. But the kind of constant bickering that we saw every day, that was unacceptable to the people of Delhi, because they were fed up with it. They were frustrated because they were saying that we are not able to say, for example, the BJP was saying that we are unable to implement the Ayushman Bharat, which is so successful across the country, because Kejriwal is not allowing it. Kejriwal is saying that I am not able to do this because the central government is intervening. Now this, the people were fed up and they wanted a government which can deliver, not always play the victim card.
Right. The only saving grace for the Aam Aadmi Party is Atishi. She's won the Kalkaji constituency. We're going to continue this discussion, but we also have some reactions coming in from Nitin Gadkari and Harish Khurana. Let's quickly listen in.
देखिए, दिल्ली की जनता ने जो विश्वास दिया है भारतीय जनता पार्टी पर, वो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। पिछले अनेक सालों से दिल्ली के विकास में अनेक अड़चनें पैदा हुई थी। मेरे डिपार्टमेंट से हम लोग 65,000 करोड़ के काम कर रहे हैं और 35,000 करोड़ के नए काम डिक्लेयर कर रहे हैं।
हम दिल्ली को प्रदूषण से मुक्त और दुनिया का सबसे सुंदर शहर बनाना चाहते हैं और मेरा विश्वास है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की जीत के कारण प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में अब दिल्ली की तस्वीर बदलेगी, ये मेरा दृढ़ विश्वास है। दिल्ली की जनता ने हमको जो जीत दिलाई है, मैं जनता के प्रति आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ, उनको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
देखिए, सबसे पहले तो मैं दिल्ली की जनता का धन्यवाद करूंगा, अपने मोती नगर के परिवारजनों का धन्यवाद करूंगा, मेरे ऊपर जिन्होंने आशीर्वाद दिया, मेरे पिताजी, हमारे मोदी जी का आशीर्वाद, अमित शाह जी का आशीर्वाद, नड्डा जी का आशीर्वाद, उनकी ब्लेसिंग, उनका जो स्नेह रहा, उनके लिए मैं उन सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं। जिस प्रकार से सब लोग दिल्ली के अंदर भी और मेरी मोती नगर विधानसभा के अंदर भी कार्यकर्ता भी लगे रहे, उनका भी दिल से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। ये जीत जो है जनता की जीत है और जिस प्रकार से उन्होंने एक जो जिम्मेवारी सौंपी है उसको हम निश्चित तौर के ऊपर अच्छी तरह निभाएंगे और एक जो हमने प्रण लिया है कि मेरी मोती नगर विधानसभा दिल्ली की नंबर 1 सीट होगी डेवलपमेंट के मामले में, इसको लेके हम आगे बढ़ेंगे। मैं मोती नगर के अपने सभी परिवारजनों का हृदय की गति से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं और अपने शीर्ष नेतृत्व का, जिन्होंने मेरे पर भरोसा जताया, चाहे प्रधानमंत्री जी हों, हमारे गृह मंत्री जी हैं, राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी हैं, प्रदेश नेतृत्व प्रदेश अध्यक्ष जी हैं, प्रदेश के संगठन मंत्री जी हैं, राष्ट्रीय संगठन मंत्री जी हमारे, सबने जो मेरे ऊपर आशीर्वाद दिया और जो उन्होंने मेरे ऊपर वो किया, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद है। मेरे परिवार का बहुत धन्यवाद है जो मेरे पास खड़े रहे।
आम आदमी पार्टी पिछले 11 साल से दिल्ली को दे रही थी, ये जीत उस झूठ के खिलाफ है जो आम आदमी पार्टी दिल्ली के लोगों को परोस रही थी। भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी, नरेंद्र मोदी जी के आशीर्वाद से एक ऐसी सरकार बनेगी जो दिल्ली के लोगों ने जो कष्ट भोगे हैं उन कष्टों से मुक्ति दिलाएगी, दिल्ली को दोबारा विकास के रास्ते पे लेके जाएगी और निश्चित तौर पे दिल्ली के लोगों ने जैसा विश्वास भारतीय जनता पार्टी पे और नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में दिखाया है, तो हम भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं का और जिम्मेवारी बन जाती है कि उस विश्वास पे जो है हम और दिल्ली के लोगों की उम्मीदों पे और जोर से खड़े होते हैं।
All right, let's now quickly take you to BJP headquarters. My colleague Sriya is present there and she gets us the latest.
Well, you can see the kind of exuberance, the enthusiasm, the spirit here in the BJP Delhi office. Dhol, Nagara, everything is playing here since morning as we've been showing you the visuals. Let me talk to some more party cadres as we have been speaking. Subhash Gupta here joining us. Subhash जी, आप बताइए कि ये जो सेलिब्रेशन है सुबह से हम देखते आ रहे हैं और अभी तो मैंडेट ने भी जवाब दे दिया है।
जी, ये सेलिब्रेशन 27 साल से हम आज के दिन का इंतजार कर रहे थे और 27 साल के बाद ऊपर वाले ने, दिल्ली की जनता ने हमें ये मौका दिया है, तो इस मौका को हम दिल्ली वालों के साथ में मिलकर मनाएंगे। कहीं ना कहीं दिल्ली के लोगों ने ये झूठे वाल को करारा जवाब दिया है और झाड़ू को बिखेर दिया है।
Well, you can hear the slogan hearing of Modi, Modi, right behind me. Let me ask my camera person to pan onto the shots here. People dancing at this point here at the BJP office, as you can see. That is the level of celebrations going on here. People seem to be rejoicing this particular decisive mandate that people in Delhi have given to them. People in Delhi have trusted them with after 27 long years here in the national capital. This is Sriya Kundu with camera person Aryan reporting for News9.
All right, I'm also joined by Gautam Seth, spokesperson Congress, and Dr. Himanshu Shukla, BJP spokesperson. I'll come to you, Gautam. You know, one thing that has honestly remained constant is Congress failed to open its account for the third consecutive time. What happened?
You see, of course, we have failed to open our account for the third time, and this is something that we need to reflect. We took the issues to the people that we felt would resonate. They also resonated. We feel the issues we talked about were at the central stage in the Delhi elections, but people wanted change and they voted for the change that they seeked for. And I am hoping that, you know, the Bharatiya Janata Party,
isn't it?
while
I mean, they could have seen this change in the Congress party.
No, I agree for sure.
Why? I'm sorry, but why does it look like that the Congress party is is not happy because it is unhappy because it has lost. It's not the reason, but the reason it is happy is because Aam Aadmi Party is lost.
No,
that's how
see,
it's coming across.
Delhi was actually under this ailment called Arvind Kejriwal, the man who put all the kind of fraud charges against Mrs. Sheila Dikshit to win an election. The kind of insult he had done against Mrs. Dikshit and bringing down such a well-going pro-development government of Mrs. Sheila Dikshit.
Mr. Seth, Mr. Seth, let me. No. One second. I'll please, once again, very humbly, I'm requesting you to please tell me what is happening with the Congress party. What has happened with Arvind Kejriwal? I have AAP spokespersons. I have enough people here to explain that. I want you to just tell me what has happened with the Congress party.
No, absolutely. It is time for the Congress party to reflect. It is time for the Congress party to rethink its strategy. It is time for us to strategize in a way that a state, a capital city like Delhi, which we governed for 15 years, where we had a leader like...
दिल्ली के चुनाव के नतीजे आए हैं और जनता का जो भी निर्णय है, जनता का जो भी फैसला है, उसे हम पूरी विनम्रता के साथ स्वीकार करते हैं। जनता का निर्णय सर माथे पर। मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी को इस जीत के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं और मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि जिस उम्मीद के साथ और जिस आशा के साथ लोगों ने उनको बहुमत दिया है, वो उन सभी उम्मीदों और आशाओं पे पूरा उतरेंगे। हमने पिछले 10 साल में जनता ने जो मौका दिया हमें, उन 10 सालों में हमने बहुत सारे काम किए। शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में, स्वास्थ्य के क्षेत्र में, पानी के क्षेत्र में, बिजली के क्षेत्र में और भी अलग अलग तरीके से लोगों को राहत पहुंचाने की कोशिश की उनकी ज़िंदगी में और दिल्ली के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को भी हमने सुधारने की कोशिश की। अब जो जनता ने हमें निर्णय दिया है, हम न केवल एक कंस्ट्रक्टिव ऑपोजिशन का रोल निभाएंगे, बल्कि हम समाज सेवा, जनता के सुख दुख में काम आना, व्यक्तिगत तौर पे जिसको भी जो ज़रूरत होगी, हम लोगों के सुख दुख में हमेशा काम आएंगे, क्योंकि हम राजनीति में कोई सत्ता के लिए नहीं आए। हम राजनीति को एक ज़रिया मानते हैं जिसके ज़रिए जनता की सेवा की जा सके, जिसके ज़रिए लोगों के सुख दुख में काम आया जा सके। वो काम हम करते रहेंगे और हमें आगे भी इसी तरह से जनता के सुख दुख में काम आना है। मैं आम आदमी पार्टी के सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूं। वो बहुत शानदार चुनाव लड़े, बहुत मेहनत की, उन्होंने बहुत कुछ सहा इस पूरे चुनाव के दौरान। उन्होंने बहुत शानदार चुनाव लड़ा। इसके लिए मैं उन सबको, सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूं। नमस्कार।
I'll come to you, Mr. Ajit Jha. You heard Mr. Arvind Kejriwal saying that I did not join politics for power. How do you really read this?
The problem with Arvind Kejriwal is that he never walks his talk, right? Whatever he claims, he does exactly the opposite. I mean, the way he stuck to power in Delhi, remember 2013-14, at that time, in fact, he was already so ambitious that they were planning to contest elections all over the country. He went ahead and contested against Prime Minister Modi in Varanasi. He thought that just that India against corruption fight will straight shoot him from Delhi into the Prime Minister's chair. And in that sense, he is perhaps one person. All he believes in is, sticking to power, sticking to his seat, and each and every move that he made.
All right, Mr. Jha, I'll have to interrupt you. My sincere apologies. We have Atishi's reaction coming in. Let's very quickly.
सबसे पहले तो मैं कालका जी विधानसभा की जनता का धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ, जो उन्होंने मुझ पे भरोसा दिखाया। मैं अपनी पूरी टीम का धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ, जिन्होंने बाहुबल, गुंडागर्दी, मार पिटाई का सामना भी करते हुए ज़मीनी स्तर पे मेहनत करी और जनता तक पहुँचे। बाकी दिल्ली की जनता का जनादेश है, हमें जनादेश स्वीकार है। ये मैं अपनी सीट जीती हूँ, लेकिन ये जीत का समय नहीं है, ये जंग का समय ही है। जंग जारी रहेगी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के खिलाफ, उनकी तानाशाही और उनकी गुंडागर्दी के खिलाफ। आम आदमी पार्टी हमेशा गलत के खिलाफ लड़ती आई है और हमेशा गलत के खिलाफ लड़ती रहेगी। ये ज़रूर एक सेटबैक है, लेकिन आम आदमी पार्टी का संघर्ष दिल्ली के लोगों के लिए, देश के लोगों के लिए कभी खत्म नहीं होगा। मैम प्लीज अगेन, नहीं।
That was in fact Atishi who says that even though I have won from Kalkaji constituency, it's not the time for me to celebrate because the party has lost in the Delhi polls. Well, continuing our discussion with you, Mr. Jha, do tell us what is the reason behind this big shift for a party that came into being on an anti-corruption plank. It's, the corruption charges that brought it down. Mr. Jha.
Oh, okay. Absolutely. In fact, the corruption was the biggest issue that people, I talked to several of the people who live around the place that I live, very close to Vasant Vihar, and most of them came from, sort of very poor socio-economic background. And I asked them, who had they voted for in the last election, who they were going to vote this time, and they told me not Arvind Kejriwal. And the moment I would ask them, they would say, they would refer to the liquor scam. That was so much there in the minds of the people. And the fact that as a chief minister, there were these 9 times ED summoned him, he just would not meet the ED. The way he was, skirting the entire issue. Again, take the final point, the alliance with Congress party. In Haryana, they tried for an alliance. It did not work. Over there, the blame went to the Congress, and then Rahul Gandhi personally phoned him right before the election. If you saw, Rahul Gandhi did not campaign initially. The Congress was hoping for an alliance, and if you just look at arithmetically the numbers today, if you add up the Congress vote 6.4, AAP's 43.6, which is 47 plus, it would go over 50%. Simple arithmetic suggests if there was a transfer of vote done honestly, maybe they would have saved themselves. But the arrogance of Arvind Kejriwal, that always stood. He thought just on his face he could win this election, come back as chief minister. He did not want Atishi to continue. It was the lust for power. He could have given it up, right? He could have fought for, the next Lok Sabha. He could have decided, like Rahul Gandhi, to do a sort of Bharat Jodo Abhiyan kind of thing. But no, all he wanted was to come back to his chief minister's position, probably come back to his Sheesh Mahal. That is, the lust for power was so strong in Arvind Kejriwal that the entire ambition of the movement disappeared, fizzled out, and we see what has happened. He has fallen from grace.
Right. In fact, at this point, I'm also joined by Dr. Himanshu Shukla, BJP spokesperson. First of all, Dr. Shukla, very congratulations to you. The middle class budget seems to have worked for the BJP in the national capital.
Thank you so much. Yes, definitely it has worked a lot, but we were sure of the victory, and we were sure. Am I audible?
Wow, please go right ahead.
We were sure of the victory a month ago, maybe, because as you have seen, the people of Aam Aadmi Party were also frightened that the prominent faces of the AAP have left their seat and ran away from their original seats. The big faces like Manish Sisodia, they were leaving. The AAP MLAs, they were leaving from their seats. They have resigned. Some AAP leaders have resigned from the party. That is because they knew they can't, shake hands with the Marich of Delhi. And by the Marich, I am referring to the Arvind Kejriwal. He has done so many wrong things. He has lied to the people of Delhi. He has lied so much that people were now fed up of him. So that is why, people, these AAP leaders have thought that it's the best time to leave the party. And you were asking about what happened with the Congress. So I am quoting a line from Ram Dhare Singh Dinkar ji, कि उनका ये कहना था कि युद्ध नहीं जिनके जीवन में वे भी बड़े अभागे होंगे, या तो प्रण को तोड़ा होगा या फिर रण से भागे होंगे. तो कांग्रेस जो अब एलिमेंट बता रही है आम आदमी पार्टी को, they were never in the fight. I have never seen even a person, canvassing in the door to door. I have never seen an auto rickshaw with the Congress, flag over there. And this is the thing they should introspect, that what is going wrong. Is it the lazy, आला कमान इनकी बहुत आलसी है या इन पे भरोसा नहीं है. अब वो जो है उनको तो आपस में खुशी मनानी होती है. कभी वो जो है बीजेपी की कम सीटें आती है उसकी खुशी मना देते हैं, कभी आम आदमी पार्टी हार रही उसकी खुशी मना देते हैं. एक वो समय था जब 400 सीटें हुआ करती थी. तो कांग्रेस का अब एक फेस हो गया है जो स्कैम का फेस हो गया है, एंड दे कैन नॉट रिमूव इट. एंड टॉकिंग अबाउट द आम आदमी पार्टी, so the people have chosen the Viksit Delhi. They have chosen the right people. Arvind Kejriwal came to the politics showing his Wagoner and small house and telling me that I'm Aam Aadmi. And why I have called him Marich? Because he has shown the wrong face. People have now seen that he has come from a Wagoner with a broken steering, and now directly that Wagoner has gone inside the Sheesh Mahal, and he has now the Punjab Police Z Plus security and Delhi Police Z Plus security. He is the only chief minister having 2 Z Plus securities, which is very rare. And this is the only party which is called Aam Aadmi Party, whose 15 MLAs, 1 MP, 1 Mukhyamantri or OP Mukhyamantri, these have all gone to jail. So this is now not Aam Aadmi Party, this is Scam Aadmi Party. So that is why people have chosen the right thing. People are now with us, and we are pretty sure of the development. जो जनता ने हमको दिया हम वो करके दिखाएंगे.
Continue to stay with us. In fact, I'm going to come to you, Gautam. The BJP spokesperson here claims that Congress lacks the will to win. How do you respond to that?
I would first say that I would beg to differ, because this election we fought it with all our might. If you look at our candidates, I was myself active on ground. Mr. Sandeep Dixit covered almost 15 to 16,000 houses by door to door from morning 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. in the evening. He would be on the streets doing door to door himself. Ms. Alka Lamba was there on the streets. So I would not reckon with the fact that we did not fight this election with the force that we should have. Of course, the previous 2 elections, we ourselves agree that we could not fight the way we should have. But this time, since even after going all out, it has not converted to votes, so we have to introspect. We have to see what lacks and why the people of Delhi are not able to bestow their trust back upon a party which gave a leader like Mrs. Sheila Dikshit, who led a very successful government. So we have to wait and see, and certainly post the analysis, we will take the necessary changes, we will do what needs to be done, go back to the people, work hard for 5 more years, and hope that next time that people will look at us with much more faith and much more hope.
Gautam, it's interesting that you use the word introspect. Every time Congress faces a loss, this is the only thing that we get to hear, that the party is introspecting. My very simple question, and I hope you'll be able to give me a direct answer: how long do you take? How long do you need to introspect?
And just to add to Neha's question, for a very long time in this campaign, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi did not show their face. They almost came at the very, very end of the campaign. Why? If you wanted to contest, Rahul and Priyanka should have been in the campaign like Prime Minister Modi. So what was the reason?
No, of course, we had a very well strategized campaign, of course, which did not translate to results that we were expecting. The strategy was that the state leaders will first bring the issues to the forefront, like Mr. Sandeep Dixit, Mr. Devendra Yadav, Ms. Alka Lamba. Everyone was playing on the front foot directly. And then we had Rahul Gandhi ji and Priyanka Gandhi ji stepping in, taking full throttle against the state government also and against the central government also. We did not leave any stone unturned in conveying what Sheila ji ki Delhi was and what it was turned into by Arvind Kejriwal. But it did not convert into votes. So that also remains a fact. And as far as the question is that how long will we take to introspect, I totally agree that as an organization, we sometimes are not able to be as quick and as fast as we should be. And of course, it is the new political world in which we are also learning. The people are making us learn. And with this, we are growing. I'm sure this will be another experience for us to come back better and strong. It is the same Congress which led 15 years in Delhi with Mrs. Dixit as the chief minister. So you should not also forget that.
Do you think the fact that Rahul Gandhi, with all his symbols of caste survey that he's talking about, inequality that he talks about, is he moving the party leftwards, away from where his father Rajiv Gandhi had taken it, sort of, center, rightwards, away from where Narasimha Rao had taken it? Is he moving it too much leftward? And as a result, Congress is losing the middle class vote. The BJP has taken over the middle class vote in Delhi and in the rest of the country. Do you think that's the main problem?
No, absolutely. This last minute announcement that came right before the polls were happening in form of the union budget and the income tax cuts that were made. Of course, it's a relief to the people. It should have been done, but the timing of it is absolutely questionable. But when you question how the ideological shift is coming into play, I do not think that. The Congress has always been very inclusive, and we always say that at least the RSS has an ideology, the BJP has an ideology. We will fight them out. But the Aam Aadmi Party was a political setup with no ideology at all, and a political setup without an ideology is the most risky thing. It's the most dangerous thing for a democracy, and that is why we were wanting to go full throttle against Mr. Kejriwal this time, because he had become a threat to the Delhi voters, and how he would just blame Punjab for air pollution. When he won Punjab, he would blame Haryana for poisoning the water. So he had become rather a habitual liar. So
Mr. Jha, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt here, Gautam. Mr. Jha, it does appear that Congress is not unhappy about its own loss, but rather happy because Aam Aadmi Party lost. Well, let's quickly, in fact, take a listen to a couple of reactions coming in. We'll continue our discussion post this. Stay with us.
नमस्कार। आज दिल्ली के चुनाव के नतीजे आए हैं और जनता का जो भी निर्णय है, जनता का जो भी फैसला है, उसे हम पूरी विनम्रता के साथ स्वीकार करते हैं। जनता का निर्णय सर माथे पर। मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी को इस जीत के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं और मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि जिस उम्मीद के साथ और जिस आशा के साथ लोगों ने उनको बहुमत दिया है, वो उन सभी उम्मीदों और आशाओं पे पूरा उतरेंगे। हमने पिछले 10 साल में जनता ने जो मौका दिया हमें, उन 10 सालों में हमने बहुत सारे काम किए। शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में, स्वास्थ्य के क्षेत्र में, पानी के क्षेत्र में, बिजली के क्षेत्र में और भी अलग अलग तरीके से लोगों को राहत पहुंचाने की कोशिश की उनकी ज़िंदगी में, और दिल्ली के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को भी हमने सुधारने की कोशिश की। अब जो जनता ने हमें निर्णय दिया है, हम न केवल एक कंस्ट्रक्टिव ऑपोजिशन का रोल निभाएंगे, बल्कि हम समाज सेवा, जनता के सुख दुख में काम आना, व्यक्तिगत तौर पे जिसको भी जो ज़रूरत होगी, हम लोगों के सुख दुख में हमेशा काम आएंगे। क्योंकि हम राजनीति में कोई सत्ता के लिए नहीं आए, हम राजनीति को एक ज़रिया मानते हैं जिसके ज़रिए जनता की सेवा की जा सके, जिसके ज़रिए लोगों के सुख दुख में काम आया जा सके। वो काम हम करते रहेंगे और हमें आगे भी इसी तरह से जनता के सुख दुख में काम आना है। मैं आम आदमी पार्टी के सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूं। वो बहुत शानदार चुनाव लड़े, बहुत मेहनत की, उन्होंने बहुत कुछ सहा इस पूरे चुनाव के दौरान। उन्होंने बहुत शानदार चुनाव लड़ा, इसके लिए मैं उन सबको, सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूं। नमस्कार।
सबसे पहले तो मैं कालका जी विधानसभा की जनता का धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूं, जो उन्होंने मुझ पर भरोसा दिखाया। मैं अपनी पूरी टीम का धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूं, जिन्होंने बाहुबल, गुंडागर्दी, मार पिटाई का सामना भी करते हुए ज़मीनी स्तर पे मेहनत करी और जनता तक पहुंचे। बाकी दिल्ली की जनता का जनादेश है, हमें जनादेश स्वीकार है।